everybody was treated fair. You know what I'm saying? Because he was about helping the underdog. You know what I'm saying? So that's important for us to remember about how to treat each other. And that was important to Pac. So that's one thing I always try to implement. It's time for us right now to start doing that again and start living by those principles and treating each other like we family and respecting each other. You know what I'm saying? And we can't wait no more for the next man to do anything. We have to do everything we need to do right now. But today is a great day, and I want to give a shout out to thetruthabouttupac.com for doing this, and everybody on the West Coast who celebrating the life of Machiavelli the Don. To the world, one nation.
Truth about.
Hi, my name is Barbara Johnson. I'm from Chicago. What's up, Truth About Tupac? Happy birthday, Tupac. Happy 44th birthday to you, Tupac. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Tupac. Happy 44th birthday, Tupac. Love you.
What's poppin', man? It's your boy Cali Smooth, man. Live checking in for my boy 2PAC, man. Happy birthday, man. Happy 44th, man. We doing this for you, man. Your legacy lived on. It carried this long. It's going to keep carrying on. You inspire so many people, man. I'm blessed to be a part of the opportunity just to be around these people and environment, around so many people that love you and generated and just came here for you, you know, just came here for what your message was, you know, and I'm happy to continue to keep carrying that torch and being a part of your legacy, man. Tupac, truthabouttupac.com. Ash, man, Layla, what it do? It's your boy Cali Boy Smooth, man. Check it out.
Guys, my name is Ami. I'm from the Middle East. I'm 17 years old and I'm a huge fan of Tupac. How you guys can see, I got some cool ass posters, I got some cool ass jacket, and yeah. Before I'm gonna talk about myself, I wanna say happy birthday, Tupac. You the best rapper in the world. And before I need to say another thing. I'll give a lot of respect to the truthabouttupac.com. You guys are amazing. You guys keep Tupac name alive. You guys doing a great job. You guys keep it up, doing good work. And yeah, my favorite song is Until the End of the Time by Tupac Shakur. This song is really powerful. The song is really good. Even the album itself, it's good. Yeah. My dream is to be a rapper. I got inspired by Tupac. I grew up in a place that's people listening to a lot of hip hop, and you know that's something that's give me the power to be and try to be a rapper. So you know, yeah. Beside that, I want to say Tupac. It's like a father for me. It's like a teacher. It's like, yeah, you know, it's like a father for me. Every song he have, it's like a lesson to my life, and even with not Tupac, I was not who I am today. I was someone else, and I never even was talking in this video right now. So you know, that's something I really like about it. Yeah, so you guys keep doing a great job, and yeah, peace.
All right, you ready for Brillo's tribute to Tupac?
What up, LA? What up, the Bay? What up, West Coast? Hey, this today is a great day. Today, on June the 16th, which is tomorrow, but today, right now, we're giving tribute to Tupac Amaru Shakur Machiavelli the Don, who had a tremendous impact on my life and helped me to find myself. You know what I'm saying? To find what was important for me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity that he extended to me through the afterlife by giving me his mom to spend time with, you know what I'm saying, and his entire family. You know what I'm saying? I was there at the first family reunion. That was real important and real pivotal part of my life, and a real part of my life that actually means something. So I take it like real personal, and I appreciate the time that was given to me. Also, Pac had a tremendous impact on millions of people all around the world. And it wasn't just for the world, but it was for the whole universe, you know what I'm saying? And it's up to us to help to keep that balance, because that's what it was. He was the type of person to weigh things out and try to make sure that everybody was treated fair, you know what I'm saying? Because he was about helping the underdog, you know what I'm saying? So that's important for us to remember about how to treat each other. And that was important to Pac, so that's one thing I always try to implement. It's time for us right now to start doing that again and start living by those principles and treating each other like we family and respecting each other, you know what I'm saying? And we can't wait no more for the next man to do anything. We have to do everything we need to do right now. But today is a great day, and I want to give a shout out to thetruthabouttupac.com for doing this, and everybody on the West Coast who's celebrating the life of Machiavelli the Don. To the world, one nation.
Truthabouttupac.com.
Aloha, this is Ajax coming from Hawaii. I just wanted to wish Tupac a happy 44th birthday, and shout out to truthabouttupac.com, the movement. Keep it going, y'all. Thug life, aloha, keep it up. Happy birthday, Tupac.
Dewan Gentry from Denison, Texas. Man, sending a huge, major shout out and a happy 44th birthday to Tupac, man. Much love and respect, man. Well missed, and your music will always, always, always carry on, man, forever and ever. And also would like to send a major shout out to thetruthabouttupac.com. And if you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe now and follow. And also like to send a shout out to Darius Love, Asher Underwood, Layla Steinberg, and each and every one of you guys that really had something to do with this.
Liro from Sweden, admin of the Truth About Tupac movement. Just want to say happy 44th birthday, Tupac. And shout out to all the Pac fans for a while.
Happy birthday, Pac. Shout out truthabouttupac.com. Your boy Sparks, 2K15, Beast Coast.
Hi, my name is Atron Gregory. Special shout out to truthabouttupac.com on the anniversary of Tupac's birth. I was going to send you guys a 4-minute video clip with a special message to Afeni Shakur, a shout out to all those past and present who helped develop Tupac as well as help keep his legacy alive. But unfortunately on my phone I can't send the 5-minute clip to you guys in a timely manner. So please accept my congratulations on all that you do to help Tupac's legacy continue to live and to flourish and to grow. Please check out the longer clip on my new TNT Facebook page, and blessings to everybody out there. Bye-bye.
Yo, it's your boy Darius Love. I'm sitting here right now with the one and only Money B. We're here to let y'all know here at YouTube Space LA, it is going to be the 44th Tupac Shakur birthday. We want you to subscribe so you could take a ride with Dive Live. And more importantly, we're going to go on the radio station and going way back radio.com. If you subscribe to that YouTube channel, you subscribe to the radio, you can listen, you can be involved, and you can see a live stream of what we're going to do here, y'all. Live performances, we're going to have interviews, we're going to have the whole nine. 44th annual birthday. My man Cletus Mack brought Money B down. Big shout out. Ray Love, the whole Bay. Layla Steinberg is in the building. Mo Preem Shakur, Thug Life, Macadocious, Mo Preem, you know what I mean? Big Sight, just to name a few. And we got a couple surprise guests. But you can't be involved if you don't subscribe. So come take a ride on the west side of things. It's your boy D Love. Because of you, we are who we are. Thank you, Money B.
That's right. And I will definitely be here June 16th, right here at truthabouttupac.com for the 44th birthday party for Tupac Shakur. And right after that, we're going to travel up to the Going Way Back show for the after Q&A. That's right. June 16th, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on tradiov.com. It's the Going Way Back show where you can get all your classic hip-hop raw and uncut. And make sure you subscribe to the Going Way Back show channel on YouTube. That's right. Going, G-O-I-N, the Going Way Back show. Classic hip hop raw and uncut, baby. Fuck with us.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Melissa Roos. I am the designer of the TAT logo and also the art director for Truth About Tupac movement. I just wanted to say happy birthday to Tupac and subscribe to this channel right here.
My name is G Battles. I'm a hip-hop artist from Oakland, California. Catch me on June 16th at the official truthabouttupac.com YouTube channel, celebrating Machiavelli the Don's 44th birthday with all his friends and family at the official YouTube space in Los Angeles, California. Happy birthday, Pac. What's up?
Yo, what's up? My name is Abdul. I'm from Virginia. I want to say happy 44th birthday to Tupac Shakur. Shout out Truth About Tupac. Shout out my man Asher Underwood. Holla if you hear me, everybody. Let's go. One love. Peace.
Let them know what you
What's
do.
up? I'm Norm Towns. I'm an actor and a comedian. Shout out to Tupac and my boy D Love.
He was just in the new Mark Wahlberg movie, The Gambler, y'all. Check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah, we really on this Hollywood hustle, man. You know what I mean?
Hi everybody, I'm Blackman, I'm from Greece. Happy 44th birthday to Tupac and shout out to everybody at the truthabouttupac.com. Peace.
Happy 44th birthday Tupac Amaru Shakur, Machiavelli the Don, Felix Malou from DRC Congo, right there in Africa.
What up, what up? It's your boy Nazo Bravo from Los Angeles. I just want to say happy 44th birthday to the greatest of all time, Tupac, Machiavelli the Don, Spirit Lives On. And big shout out to Truth About Tupac, Asher. They've always supported me in my career. So it's all love, baby. Hey, yo.
Hey, what up, Truth About Tupac movement? It's your boy Asher Underwood, the one and only Herman Watson.
Yes, sir, man. What's up, man? Big shout outs to Truth About Tupac, you feel me? Rapping Forte, we out here, 7 Tenors Fest, you know what I'm saying? Rapping Forte, the Interceptors, my man Ace right here.
Interceptors in the building.
Interceptors, man. Aceville, 4 flavors, Tupac, One Love. This is what we doing this for, you know what I'm saying?
We just about to get it started, man. We're going to be chopping it up, man. Y'all even know about the moves that the Interceptors, Truth About Tupac movement, D-Love, Rapping Forte is making for the love of Pac and for you to bring it to you exclusively. Shout out the whole team. You know who you are. Log in your goons.
Look at it, you come all the way here from the bus, you ride on here, you put your heart out, you stepped out on faith. Feel me?
Nothing else, no fear,
else, no
just
fear.
my faith.
And so we here right now and we look at it and we say, damn, you know, we could try or we could wish, but you stepped out on something greater than a wish. You're doing it. You know what I'm saying? In life, we don't use the words try. Either we do or we don't.
That's it.
It's yeses and no's. Heaven and hells. You feel me? And guess what? We will prevail. With that kind of faith and that kind of belief,
Can't nothing stop us.
Can't nothing stop us. God can't lie. You know what I'm saying? The only person that's gonna lie, the only person that's the devil is the devil. You see him. He gonna lie to you. Because that's his job. He doing his job. You know what I'm saying? But now, when we on the mob, like we said, it's a movement. This ain't a movie. We live right now here in the Truth About Tupac. This is one of our official affiliates that we brought right here in Beverly Hills, California, to show y'all we care about those that care about the truth. And you was telling me, brother, on your arm on the tattoo, how Pac words moved.
He inspired me my whole life.
Changed your life.
It did change my life. That's the reason I started college. That's the reason I'm writing my poetry and everything, because what he did in his life was a lot more than what most people think that he did. They look at him and just, oh, he was a gangster. He's a revolutionary. He was a poet. He unified the cultures, he was about educating people too, about educating the youth.
It's funny you say that. We standing here based off of his legacy. That was 20 years ago, his birthday coming up on June 16th. He is 44th. And 20 years later, they got poetry classes. 20 years later, brothers like us is upholding the legacy. He says, I may not change the world, but I will spark the brain that does. Just like you said earlier about his poem, you was breaking it down about how, with Asher, you were saying, you know, the co-founder, big shout out, Asher Underwood, always doing it, putting it down, y'all connected. Tell me the story about how you and Asher connected.
Oh yeah, it was right around like 2012, I was going through some problems with me and my wife, or whatever. It was like, you know how you get these visions from God sometimes, and they be so, I got on there, and I started mingling, you know, just filling people out or whatever, seeing how they was, and I was like, hey, that's where I belong right here. These are like-minded people.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him when I was staying at this hotel.
Keep talking. Yeah, keep talking.
I was staying at this hotel, so I reached out to him, and I noticed I got into the Bible. Like, his name's Ashley, so this has got to be from God.
Right.
So I reached out to him, reached out to like Nina and a couple other people, and this is keeping it going.
Yeah, big shout out to Nina, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah, she gave me
yeah.
an opportunity on my poetry. Actually, put me on the website about it's been about 5 months ago, and I really appreciate that too, because now my poetry could go worldwide. Yeah, and it can help somebody. As long as it helps somebody, it's positive. I love it.
And it's crazy you say that because, you know, poetry transcended all of the different affiliates and all the Truth About Tupac cadets and followers. Poetry ascended us, and now we are influenced. And now we are influencing others through our words, just like Pac influenced us.
That's powerful. It's positive.
That's your boy D Love right now, and I'm just honored and have the privilege right now to introduce to you one of the most prolific people we know on the West Coast, to go all the way back to the Long Beach days, like you've been hearing, and more importantly, a writer, producer, and a contributor to the history that we all, you know and grew up and lived to and ride to. Let them know. Give them an introduction. Give them the name. Give them the whole background of the fame. You know.
Oh man, name's D Harp. Daryl Harper. A lot of people know me around the studio as Daryl Harper or D Harp. Big D. I'm a producer. A lot of work with Pac. Several projects. I got to give credit to the Lord, you know, for him actually directed my footsteps to being in this, because I was an R&B writer. I knew nothing about hip hop. You know, I had a few songs on the radio that I liked. I really didn't even know a lot of Pac songs. I liked him more for film. When he was, what's that movie, Juice?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just captivated by his presence in Juice.
Yes.
Like I am today. It hasn't
never lost.
It hasn't diminished a bit.
Yes.
It's like when I watch that, I'm captivated. Who is this guy who makes me watch every word? And you know, it was ironic because later, after I knew him, it was the same way whether we were in the hallway somewhere or wherever we were. When he talked, people looked down his throat. I mean, it was like. He was captivating.
He was captivated.
Captivating.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't care what stars were present.
That's
when
true,
he
Bob.
was there,
presence.
It was like, I don't care how big the other star was, people would be all whatever Pac was saying. You know.
Yes.
And anybody who know, they know I'm not blowing this up. You know, I'm keeping it real. It was just. He was that captivating kind of guy. He could be talking about cornflakes. And people was like, really? They think that about corn, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
So, so I would have never saw it coming. I was doing some things off to myself. You know, I was always been a writer primarily first. The pen and the pad is really where I feel strong. I've always been a singer. I've always been able to sing. So. Those two work together, you know, always hearing melodies, so I was able to accompany the melodies because I had a voice, I could sing. So just a couple of years before I actually started, you know, like Death Row, before Death Row was a reality to me, I had already been collaborating with other people and starting on the ideas that I had, the way of production, like actually learning software or equipment to make these things a reality, you know. So,
wow.
Like I said, my strong feature was writing. There was a guy in Long Beach, when I moved to Long Beach, called Big Chuck.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. But Chuck's
been
been
around.
Yeah,
okay, I know Big Chuck.
Yeah. So, somebody knew Michael Conception. Somebody knew, oh, I know this person. I know. Man, they need to hear how you write. And we got to go up and... I gotta introduce you some people, man. If you wrote this one, we gotta go. So we actually put our monies together and got in one of my son's mother's car. Joshua, we used this. Yeah, so we took her car up there, and within like an hour or so, I was right in front of Snoop. Couldn't believe it. I was like, this guy, he really,
Big Chuck,
out of all the people who said I could.
Yes.
I'm talking about a couple of hours later, we put our money together, got some gas, and the first person I saw when I walked in the studio was Snoop standing at the console. I'm like, man, this is Snoop Dogg, man.
Yes, and this is when he is at his prime.
Oh man, he was Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
man. Like my eyes were wide open because I was a fan. I didn't know him from Long Beach. I didn't come up with him as a homeboy or nothing like that. So I was straight on fan status. Like, man, that's Snoop Dogg. Man, I don't care what y'all talking about. That's your homeboy. Man, that's Snoop Dogg.
Right.
So, my first day there, I worked with Snoop. My first day at Can-Am.
Wow.
You know, yeah. Well, I got a chance to do a little feature on a song that Nate Dogg actually released later called Dirty Hoes Draws.
Wow. That was the first one.
First one. I'm this caller calling in. You know.
I remember that.
Yeah. I'm this caller calling in. You know, girl from Long Beach. I'm broken hearted. Some girl that broke my heart. You know.
And you wrote that concept?
No, actually, LT Hutton. LT Hutton.
Big shout out to LT.
Yeah.
Executive producer on the Tupac Shakur movie with Afeni Shakur. LT putting it down for the Pac movement. Big shout out to Suge Knight. Keep your head up,
Yeah, for sure, man.
We appreciate you everything you're doing,
for
man.
Sure.
You a real one, Suge.
But I met Suge. I sung a song to him. And when I got to the hook, he stopped the recorder because I had to record it with just the instrumentals. He told me I had a job. He said, be here tomorrow with your social and your ID. You got a job.
Wow.
He said he needed people to write for people like Michelet. They would bring it in a group 6 Feet Deep.
Yes.
And Danny Boy he had on the label.
Yes.
So he wanted to start venturing more and taking more serious the R&B platform. You know, because they were known for the hip hop. Soon after which I was just at Can-Am like every day.
Every day.
I saw work now. I saw a possibility. I was close to something. I was in a situation where I saw entertainers every day. You know, so I found myself spending the night at the studio. I would have never assumed that would have meant a Suge Knight or even fit into a label like this. But you know, you just don't know what door God will open. You know what I mean?
That's the real.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.
Living legend speaking on the truth about Tupac, how Suge Knight opened up the doors and provided jobs, provided opportunities, and more importantly was there for his artists and people in his community on a 24/7, not just in front of the camera but behind the camera. So give us a list of the resume of all of the different people that came out of Can-Am or Death Row that you touched outside of Pac.
Oh man, I don't think y'all got enough time. I feel you.
Well, it's all your time, huh? It's all your time, Mr. Art, for this one.
I mean, you know, all of the I mean, you met everybody from, I mean, you got Snoop and you got Pac in the same place. It brought everybody from actors to athletes.
Yes.
It brought entertainers. I mean, the best of them came by because of them and the imprint that Death Row was having in the world at the time.
What's one of your favorite stories or memories?
Ooh, man, I have so many. I mean, I got some that were dark. They weren't so nice, but they memorable. And then I have some that were just great to have lived through. I mean, people that I met, you know, that just really affected me for the rest of my life. I mean, people would probably think it was strange, but to me, meeting Hammer was really a big thing. Hammer was a big artist, and at the time he came there, he wasn't as big. Let's just say that he was, you know, star wasn't as bright. Let's put it that way. But his character and his integrity, he's one of the guys. I mean, it really, some of the things that he said to me and some of our experiences together in conversations, it really lasted with me. You know what I mean? He was one of the realer guys I met that had money and was still just like somebody you met next door.
Yeah.
Then there was Warren Campbell. He has a group now, Mary Mary.
Yes.
And he's also married to one of the
Wow, so
the
Mr.
girls
Campbell
there.
came back from back in the Death Row day.
Warren Campbell was at Death Row. He wasn't signed to Death Row, but he was a regular musician that we used, and it was nothing else. He was one who, when I met him, he'll tell you today, I told him, brother, you're gonna be a star. He was, and he was a star amongst people who were
legends.
There were people there that were great at what they did, and he still shined amongst them. We had pre-Superfly with Pac.
Yes.
I mean with Snoop.
Yes.
You had a guy named Barney Rubble. We had a guy named Demetrius Shipp. All these guys are phenomenal producers and really talented, real savvy in the music. But amongst them, even Warren Campbell was like, the minute I saw him, I felt like he had disrespected me the way he was using my equipment. You know, I put these sounds in here, and he was just manipulating my stuff better than I could. And I was, like, you just don't do it, with equipment like that, man.
Well, what's one of y'all favorite collabs? I know y'all collabed on a couple joints.
Who, me and Warren?
Yeah,
I can't think of anything that me and Warren has done that any published work. He helped me with some songs I was writing for Mr. Lay then. Back in the days, he would come and put his magic on the track or whatever.
Yeah, you produced Me and My Girlfriend for Pac, and then also you did the writing on Jay and Beyonce's version?
No. I contributed to Me and My Girlfriend. The track, it's Me and My Girlfriend is essentially Tyrone Rice. But what we did, we helped each other with tracks. So he would call, I was better with chords or keys than he was, and he was much better than me with drums. So when we collaborated, we just, one had a track, the other one would play on it, whatever like that. We didn't even really do it for credit, to be honest. We would just, try to help the project. He and I started being used by Pac at the same time. We didn't have any published work. We was unknown in the studio. We was actually known as the brothers that in the whack room. Our room was known as the whack room. So we got a lot of contention there. And so we just helped each other with. So he ended up on a lot of my songs. I ended up on a lot of his songs. That's still his baby though.
I heard the story about we had a whack room and then y'all had the money room, right?
The whack room is the money room.
Oh, the whack room is the money room.
I was in that room first. The room that I sung my song to Suge, where he finally gave me the job.
Yes.
That was actually the room before anybody. It was a room with recorders in it, like big reel-to-reel recorders, and way in the back of the room, you couldn't even see. Way in the back of the room was a shelf, and they had a 2-deck cassette player. And that's where Kevin would give me cassettes to write to. Wow. So if you just opened the door and looked in that room, you wouldn't even see me. You would hear the music playing, but it was behind a lot of recorders. This was like a storage room for equipment.
Wow.
So I would work in there. I basically essentially lived on fountain soda, because there were 2 soda fountains, in the studio, one for Studio A, one for Studio B. So soda was free all day, and then microwave popcorn. So I essentially lived on that when I would stay 2 and 3 days.
Wow.
Sleeping on the floor, waiting for my opportunity.
Sacrificing for you. You.
Yeah, so
what is your all-time favorite Pac song, would you say, as a producer that's worked on so much of Pac's music?
I mean, I would have to really.
What's the one that you created that you feel like has the most, when you hear it, gives you the best?
Well, the one that had the most significance and has meaning, and I was really glad to be involved with, because it had because it lines up with what happened with his life. It was The Good Die Young. To me, he was a good brother and he died young. And it was just ironic that we put that together, and then it happened for him. It's like, he was speaking his own life, The Good Die Young. So to me, that one had a lot of personal significance. That track was a long time coming, because actually Pac had been saying to the crew, Tyrone Rice and I and the Outlaws and Pac had became like family. And it even caused a little conflict around the studio. We would, that room that we were talking about, they would come in and hang out. He's even spent the night in there with us. And very many people can't say they spent the night in the room with Pac. We just tripped and had food and freestyle and come up with beats right on the spot, and he rapped to them. So, I mean, that was an experience. I mean, to stand and watch, I don't know how many people ever saw Pac freestyle, you know what I mean? But to see him and Noble going at each other and just off the top of their head, and you feel like it's bittersweet, because you're there you're privy to see it, but then...
Yet alone create from it and capture it.
Yeah, but also you want to share it with other people. Man, do you see what I'm... Yeah. It was like the first time I ever got a call from Pac on the phone. And he'd say, man, did you work last night? Yeah. Okay, well, meet me at the studio, man, and have a track for me, right? And then he'd hang up, bam. He'd call right back. It's like typical. He called right back. He said, matter of fact, man, had 2 or 3 cases. I don't like the first one. You goat mouth mother.
You was a goat mouth.
That was famous. He was always this goat mouth mother, you know.
What was the whole goat mouth theory?
I don't know. That was just his word. That was his word. You goat mouth mother, you know. So I said it was bittersweet because it was great to have a phone call from Tupac, but ain't nobody there to share. Nigga, this Tupac,
on
man,
the phone calling
on the
me.
phone, homie. He just he know my number, homie.
Yeah. My
number in his phone, homie.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
right.
yeah, so it was bittersweet. Ain't nobody you want to run down the hall, man. Guess who I'm talking to? You know, guess who's on the
You wish
phone.
you could call wifey three-way back then, huh?
Oh,
They didn't have three-way then.
nah, you know, like, man, just somebody experienced this, you know. So that was, you know, like I said, it was bittersweet, but it was a good experience, man. It was a really good experience.
It's interesting you say about the good die young, and for you to collaborate on that, and then for it to happen. I mean, that almost had to touch you in a way, being a spiritual man, a man of God. That had to touch you.
It was super traumatic for me. The whole experience, you know, my new boss being in jail.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Most of the operations, as we knew them at Death Row, had all shut down. Here I am, I'm just befriending a guy who I'm a fan of now. And I'm working with him, but I'm also a fan. See, that never left. Even around Snoop, I'm not ashamed to say, you know, a lot of people act like it was a bad thing to be there and be a fan, you know, like, because, oh, don't act like, and I know how you're supposed, you know, how they expect you to act.
But still,
yeah, but the professional end of it.
Don't stop. But you still
inside,
love
I
who they
still,
were and they geniusness. You
I'm
love
still
they
right of their of their craft.
Genius.
Yeah, so to lose him like that, right when I was, you know, my life just starting to shape and some things are filling in, you know, and coloring it up pretty good. You know, I'm liking the way my life is looking now, you know, and then lose him like that. Oh, that was really traumatic, you know. You know, I hear often how I was one of the last guys who people were ever to get because still right now, this, like even this interview right now is probably just the 4th or 5th one I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just started recently doing, people were calling me for interviews, you know, from overseas or whatever, and a couple of places here. But I wasn't the one who went, when the songs were being played, that went to the clubs and frequented the clubs and got the free drinks and hey, this is the dude who, I was more secluded and I was withdrawn. It was really a traumatic thing that happened to me. Here's my boss in jail, my career just started, just lost a friend, Pac. Everybody else is dispersed. It hurt me financially because Pac Suge wasn't paying nobody but the top artists on the label. So everybody who was living on a per diem, all that was shut down.
So everything went into shambles.
Yeah, so we had songs that were hot. We could go read the Billboard chart and see that the album was steaming hot, but our pockets wasn't steaming hot.
No, and that's one thing that I, you know, respect about you for not coming out and speaking the joys or the different adversity, but more importantly, internalizing all of that and keeping it near and dear to the heart, where I think Pac would appreciate it more than anybody, as well as Suge, because it says a lot about your character and it says a lot about you as a creative artist, what it meant to you. It was something that you shared with these gentlemen, and you shared it with them eternally, and you shared it with them freely, unconditionally. And that's why we had to have you here on The Truth About Tupac, listening to the fact that we know we don't see any interviews on you. We don't know too much other than what you're willing to put out publicly. And for you to come and do this interview, it just speaks in volumes and says a lot about you. And we're happy to have your sons here, your niece here. What's up, y'all? Y'all want to say something to The Truth About Tupac fans?
Say hey.
Why do you think Tupac's alive?
I think Tupac's alive because this like how he talked about it before he really died. That's like me saying today, oh yeah, I'm about to die on what's to my May 19th, I'm about to die. And then it just happened on May 19th. You know, and then everybody saying, oh, he's alive. And then you see like photos and stuff that make you kind of like confused.
I don't think he's alive because it's Tupac. Like, he real. Like, what are you hiding for? Like,
True.
You're known to be like out there. Like, you know, like You know, like West Side and we ride, you know, like he about it. Like he not gonna, what are you hiding for? Like, you
I
know.
have feelings sometimes like he's alive, cause like he said, some of his songs, like Shed So Many Tears, it's like I'm having visions of living here in Hearst.
If I see something that's confusing, I always Google it. So I'll go to YouTube and see, like, oh, okay.
You go where?
YouTube.
So where you at right now?
YouTube headquarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Harper.
Y'all truth about Tupac. Yes, he's our sorry. It's amazing, you know, to sit here with a legend that actually was there versus someone that's talking as if they might have been there. But this is a gentleman, Mr. Harper, that has contributed to the success of not just Pac, not just Snoop, but the whole Death Row lineage. And this is why we wanted to have him here on The Truth About Tupac today here at YouTube Space LA. About 15, 30 days before his 44th birthday, we got to meet his family. We got to hear from the man himself where his music background started from, being in the R&B and a gospel writer, a man of God. We're so honored to have him here, and more importantly, to share with you the truth about what it took to build a wonderful empire such as Death Row, and a wonderful, wonderful legend, and a person we all love and adore named Mr. Tupac Shakur. I'm your host, Darius Love, on The Truth About Tupac, Tupac Shakur channel. This is just the first segment. We're going to get Mr. Harper into a studio where we're going to sit down, we're going to really break down his whole mindset of how he makes the music and what it goes into becoming a writer, a singer, and a contributor to things that are timeless. It's music that we live in, we vibe to, is timeless in our lives, and we're thankful for having people like Mr. Harper on to share with us in the knowledge and the secrets of how it's done. If y'all want to come in and be involved with us, you know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. Take a behind-the-scenes dive, 4D interactive experience with us. We're going to do this 44th birthday for y'all. We're going to keep bringing these interviews for y'all, so stay tuned. Let's go.
Yeah, this is your boy J Mall.
Mike Glad, live from Denison, Texas, representing ET Records. Happy 44th birthday to Tupac Shakur.
Shout out to the boy Asher Underwood, representing the Truth About Tupac movement.
Yes, I feel sorry for your tragic loss. God bless you and your family.
Shout out to Tupac birthday from ET Records, Black Diamond PUP. One of the greatest man ever lived.
October the 20th, 1979, Mama gave birth to a baby boy to succeed in time. The babysitter tried to rip it.
Happy birthday, Tupac, a real artist, a visionary. From Fly app, a new iPhone application, download it now and voice yourself in honor of Tupac.
Hey, Truth About Tupac. This is Kristen Parkes from Chicago. Wishing Tupac a happy 44th birthday. You are so loved and missed.
What's going on? It's your boy, Thomas Smith, a.k.a. Shot by Guns, a.k.a. Tommy Guns. I'm the one responsible for the edits of the Nutso, Dive 5 drop, also the Money Beat drop, and also the Ray Love interview. Check me out. I'm on YouTube. Shout out to Tupac. Happy birthday. We out here.
Hi, my name is Joel D. Levinson. I'm a photographer of Tupac. Did a book called Tupac Unseen. And I'm very happy here today to be able to do a shout out to Tupac Shakur for his 44th birthday, and a shout out to Truth About Tupac for creating this great event.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy D-Love live at YouTube Space LA right now. I'm sitting with the one and only originator, Too Short, the original motherfucking pioneer of the whole movement. Hey, yo, man, Short, man.
What up?
I just gotta give you love. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's all good.
You know, it's just it's an honor, you know what I'm saying? They say the best for last, but it ain't no last when you first, you feel me? So,
That's crazy.
I know you've been busy and doing many different things. Give us a little update of where you at before we get into shit about Pac, man.
Well, you know, I'm celebrating my 30th year in the game, and I'm dropping an album this year. It's called 3 Decades of Game, and a lot of major features. I don't want to get off into the list, but you know, I got all the homies stepped up to the plate and got some heavy hitters on there, man, and the production, everything is, you know, it's up to par. OG, just I'm contemplating should this be my last solo album, and now there's been a lot of albums, man, probably like 20 albums, and I know me and E40 getting ready to do another duet project, but I don't know about the solos, man. This might be the last one, man. I might just drop this 30th anniversary and ride it out.
Now here also with us being in YouTube Space LA, you got your own studio, full production though, not just music.
Right.
So when you are having that kind of access, are you putting out movies, films, artists, or is it?
No, it's just about shooting content, man. Right now, that's in our business. As much as we make music and want people to hear the music, you gotta have the visual to go with it now. So, I mean, that's what places like this are born from. It's just, you know, you gotta have those visuals. You gotta constantly post shit, constantly putting up, new videos and putting up stuff for the fans to see. So I just want to have the facility, like I've always had a recording studio. I want to have a facility where I can do visuals and stuff. So, you know, we got green screen rooms, we got white sites, we got recording studios, we got all the stuff you need right now to be in the game.
They said content was king. I think I rolled over Echo and threw a launching party for y'all. It's right there off of Ventura in the heart of where all the studios, Warner Brothers, Universal, you right there.
Studio City.
Studio City. Ain't that a bitch? But you know, it's as being a youth and growing up to your music and growing up to your movement, I should say, and then having a personal relationship, being a fellow tourist, it's just been an honor to see history in the making. And you know, with Pac not being here, but not in the physical, but you being here and having 30 years in the game, and somebody Pac would say looked up to, in your eyes, where the game is now versus then, what's some of the messages and some of the things that you want to leave here on the Truth About Tupac? Just truth about music right now, just the business.
In our era, we were like young kids, man. Just in love with the music, in love with hip hop, and we had opportunities to make the music. So when we made it, I would speak for most of us back in the day, in that era, that we were just trying to be popular. We just wanted to go on tour. We wanted to hear ourselves on the radio. We wanted to make a video. We just wanted to make the music. And you fast forward 20 years later, this is a straight business. It's still, you're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to enjoy it. You get the money, get the girls, get the cars, whatever you want to do with it. But at the same time, you going in this thing right now knowing this is a job, this is a business, this is about big money. It's big money on the line. I want to get sponsorships. I want to get, I want to endorse stuff. I want to, major tours. I want my own clothing line. I want, you go in there with a different mind frame now. And I just feel like even before my era, the way we got in there and we're able to sell platinum albums and go on tours, before my era, it was just a fun thing. It was really no money in it before, Run DMC and LL Cool J and Def Jam came along and made it a big money business. It was just for the fun of it. Back in the 5 boroughs, back in New York, when it was coming out the Bronx, it wasn't about big money. It was about, go to the next party and rock the mic. And I feel like all of that is where we're at. Right now, you got to be able to go to the party and rock the mic.
Real talk.
But if you go to the party and rock the mic, you might be able to get a platinum album. You get a platinum album, or you get 10 million likes or downloads or something, and next thing you know, you're on a big tour, you're getting money. So it's like, it's all about handling your business, because this is the music business, the entertainment industry.
Speaking of business, you being a businessman and an entrepreneur and having your hands in many different facets of the business, what's some notes that you would take to artists that's up and coming that need to know about the business before just having the artistry or the talent?
I mean, it's an easy formula, man. I've seen it over and over again, and it's always gonna work no matter what you do in life. The overachievers always win. There's no doubt about it. So you work the hardest and you do the best work, you're definitely gonna be up there at the top. So that's all it is, man. It's a combination of luck and timing. It's a combination of skills, and just kind of actually putting in a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of hours. You ask anybody who you consider one of the greats, ask them how they got there, and the bottom line is always gonna be hard work. That's why I'm sitting here 30 years later. It's because I worked for 30 years. I didn't sit at home playing video games and smoking blunts. I got out there and did my job every day, and made new music, and put out albums, and made sure the checks came to my account, and made sure when I got on tour, the promoter paid me, not just turning my back on everything and watching the money slip through my fingers. So
basically being a hands-on boss.
And that's the only way you're gonna get it, man.
Hey, it's real. So was there anybody, that you looked up to growing up to or was mentored by?
Well, the guys in hip hop that obviously set it off for me would be, West Coast cats like Dre and Ice-T, like that. East Coast cats like Curtis Blow and Russell Simmons, and the early days, man. Melly Mel. That's my hip hop influences. But music wise, I'm really more like my DNA comes from the funk bands from the 70s, that funk, that Cameo, that Parliament, Bootsy Collins. I'm of the Ohio players. That's the foundation of my funk. But you know, I'm from day one with hip hop, man. The first time I ever heard Rapper's Delight, I was hooked.
Real talk, real talk. You know, now getting into understanding the mind state, understanding the business aspect of Short, and now understanding where you currently are with this 30-year tribute album. Maybe could be the last solo, but it won't be the last of music from you because the game won't allow that. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to get into is going back into the Bay and how you maybe first met Pac and your connection with Pac. And just more importantly, you know, things that we don't know about Pac. That's what the whole truth about Tupac is about.
Well, you know, Tupac was, he was in the Digital Underground crew. And, you know, back then everybody had their crews as is now, but, you know, we kind of, back in the day, we didn't mix and mix. We wouldn't do like a collaboration with somebody from the other crew. We would just, we would do shows together, hang out, smoke some weed, chop it up backstage. You know, it was just that type of camaraderie. It wasn't really like, hey, let's get in the studio and work. But later on, in probably like, you know, the mid-90s, we started collaborating. And, you know, I got to work with Shock G. I got to work with Tupac a few times. And, you know, I always say this, man, the one thing that stood out about Tupac was his work ethic, most of all, how much he worked. And then secondly, if you ever got to witness it, he really could write a song really fast. And as soon as he wrote the song, he'd say, let me in the booth. And he'd rap it that fast, and it'd be done. And it would just leave like a classic work of material just in no time flat. And everybody who's of the craft is like, how the fuck did he do that, you know? And I heard people tell the story over and over again that he would write these verses so fucking fast and record them and just be on to the next shit. And I've known rappers like that, and in every case, it's always like a special, very unique person. And I feel like Tupac, with all his, you know, swag and charisma and wisdom and the way he cared about everything in life, you know, from the ladies to political issues to the community, like he really gave a fuck. I just feel like, you know, he was, of the special ones, he was even more special, you know?
You know, I remember we was chilling down in Vegas, and we was chilling with Brother Ray Love, and you gave us a real exclusive, and you had said that, and that really stuck out to me, because here's somebody that you know is younger, had a purpose. We say Pac is not just a revolutionary, but an evolutionary. You know, he was saying, I'm reporting for the streets. You know, when he went in to go with Tom Watley and go in there with Jimmy and all those guys to get his record deal, they was like, we ain't doing Brenda's Got a Baby. And he was like, why? What you mean? He like, cause that's a bad marketing. He like, no, this gonna market itself. You know what I'm saying? Cause his story's about our people.
That's right.
And he took a shot on making our stories entertaining, be taking the pain, and then finding a way to still have that creative vibe to where you ride to it, you dance to it, you listen to it, you build to it. And I'm just thankful for you to point that out, because a lot of people that knew Pac ain't gonna give due credit to where it is, you know what I'm saying?
Now the man, he definitely had range, man. He had a lot of range when it came to, you know, recording and writing songs. And a lot of emotions, and it just, a lot of us can't reach the levels he reached as far as touching the listener, or even thinking of rapping about stuff like he rapped about. You know, I put that on like cats like Kanye West and Eminem, where you listen to him and you go, damn, I would have never said that. Like, you know, and it's dope, but it's like their minds are like thinking in abstract ways that the rest of us don't think. So, you know, Tupac was a prolific thinker. And to find out later in life, you know, how much of a poet he was, you see how much of an actor he was. Like, he can give it to you any kind of way. You want it. You want to be entertained. You want to be informed. He was there.
Yes, sir. And then on another note, how did y'all connect on the Bay tip? Was it what was your first engagement with Pac?
Well, you know, like I said, we all had our crews, and he was a part of Digital Underground crew. And if you know the history of Too Short and Digital Underground, a lot of our musicians mixed and mingled. And it wasn't so much as Shock G and Too Short, or Money B and Too Short, but it was like the musicians that played for me did a lot of work in the studio with Digital Underground. And the musicians that worked for Shock G did a lot of work for me in the studio. So we had that closeness of our two crews. I mean, I tell you, when Shock G was just getting to California and he was just trying to get his music thing on, he was working in a music store. And you go ask him, he'll tell you, I came in there and bought a keyboard from him. And that keyboard was the keyboard that I made you know, hit records like Freaky Tales and Dope Fiend beat, like classics.
Yeah.
Was the keyboard that I bought
There we
from
go.
Shock G.
Now that's the truth about Tupac that y'all wouldn't know. Only here on The Truth About Tupac you getting from the man himself, Mr. Show, because for one, you know, Short came out here on his own dime, on his own time. And a lot of people say they love Pac and they down for the movement, but sometimes they too busy, sometimes they ain't really caring, or sometimes they just don't give a fuck. But I will tell you, you know, we really appreciate you, man. And on his 44th birthday, we gonna do this live streaming event, and we don't know what time gonna have you on that day. Maybe you here, maybe you not. But if you could give a drop for us, or at least let people know what the 44th birthday mean for the man that's not here, but we still carrying on his legacy for a person that's timeless. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you on your 30-year reunion. We gonna be doing a tribute for you, whether you here in the flesh or here in the spirit. So if you was able to speak for your man and be able to give a shot for his 44th birthday, or say something to the people that is forever, let us know, man.
The Tupac I knew how to celebrate. He knew how to have a good time. So I feel like Pac would be so much at 44. He would be, you know, I don't think he would have been one of those cats who kind of tapped out, you know, got fat or something and stopped coming out and stopped, you know, whether he had a family or not. I don't think that he would ever have lost his cool. So I think right now we'd be seeing a really cool Tupac who balled his way, you know, like Ice Cube and Dre and all them, you know, through whatever, hitting movies or whatever, and he would have been a multi-millionaire. He would have went through his troubled youth and been beyond that shit, and fucking probably be producing movies like Ice Cube or something, because he really was into it. And you know, when it came time to party and say happy birthday on my 44th, he would have been the life of the party like always. I just can't see a Tupac that was deflated from all of that. I just can't see it. Too much, you know, Geminis, they know how to party, so come on. You know, they party like us towards the bulls, so you know, I would have figured I'm 49, still doing it big for my birthday, so my man would have been right there doing it big for his with it. You know, I ain't tapped out on the smoking and kicking and nothing yet, so you know, I don't see how my man, I just don't see it, man. I really feel like from time to time, as the years go by, I swear sometimes I really feel, I just get a feeling over me, and I'm like Tupac ain't going, because I'm seeing him and I'm feeling him. His energy is everywhere in the music and stuff. I'm like, he's somewhere right now, just they still sit wiring his royalty checks, and he's just enjoying life somewhere. Probably got a little harem of senoritas or something.
You know what's funny though? You say that, Show. 85% of the 60 million viewers, 600,000 subscribers and counting now, believe that. And you know what's great about Pac is that he's timeless. He's not just famous, and so are you. You know, you it's a certain level of the game that people aspire to be, and it's just those that be. And you know, you a true one at it, man. You know.
We know that of his character. Had he, if he's really gone, and somebody can get the word to him to say that, you know, all the people that loved you don't even believe you're dead. He would be somewhere going, I love it. He would love it. He would love it. It'd be like mission accomplished.
That's what's up.
For real, so.
You know, Show, man, I again want to thank you. And there's any way that we can help you with the Truth About Tupac movement, we could be there on the 30th album doing an exclusive drop, or the 30th anniversary, the 30 year. Let us know if we need to do a video at YouTube. Anything we need to do, come to your studio. You know what I mean? We're here for you like you've been here for us.
Let's get it in, man. Let's get it in, man. We're doing 30 more years, man. We ain't stopping this. Hip-hop will never stop.
There it is.
Ever.
It's official like a referee with a whistle, a gangster with a pistol. Official interview, YouTube, 44th annual birthday drop with the one and only, my man, Too Short. Let's go. Bulls up.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Too Short. Make sure you tune in to the Tupac 44th birthday live stream, thetruthAboutTupac.com on YouTube, baby. Check it out.
Can you talk about the first album release party with Giant Records at the Century Club in Century City?
Ooh.
You want me to ask him that? You want me to ask him?
Okay. It was probably around like 1996. I had just announced that I released my 10th album, and I said I'm not making any more albums. I just turned 30 years old, 10 albums. I'm like, I retired, walked away. I probably just did like 6 platinum albums in a row, and we threw this big party. It was the Too Short retirement party in
Century
City at the Century Club. And you know, I mean, it went down. You know, Snoop Dogg and I had a Dolomite up in that motherfucker. We was up in there. We was up in there doing. My mama was in there. We was doing it big, man. So you know, I remember that night real good. That's when Century Club was one of the hottest clubs in LA. We packed that motherfucker and we did it big, man. LA and the Bay together, you know.
That's a classic one right there, man. Exclusive here on The Truth About Tupac. Show 30 more years.
Yeah.
Checks clear, baby. Let's go. To the lid.
Hi, this is Tracy. Just saying happy birthday to you, Tupac. We miss you. And a shout out to The Truth About Tupac. Peace.
Hey, this is Jamil Suleiman from Seattle, Washington, giving a big shout out to The Truth About Tupac movement and everything that y'all are doing in LA, man. Keep it strong, baby. Happy birthday, Tupac Shakur. Long live. Peace.
Revolutionary greetings. Hockey Kweli Shakur, checking in from that VA New African District. Want to send a happy 44th anniversary of the birth of Tupac Amaru Shakur, our warrior soldier. May the Agun ancestor continue to walk with the righteous. And a bulletproof shout out to the comrades, truthabouttupac.com. Check them out.
Yo, it's your boy D-Love. I'm officially giving an exclusive Mo Preem Shakur, Truth About Tupac 44th birthday. We're releasing the video. Why? Because 5150, my man Charles, my man Action, swap on the motherfucking music right here. It's a dream come true, dream team right now. We done came here, our first day of rapping on the Shaw movie set, playing the character Chris, Action the lead in it, and we really making history right now, y'all. It ain't no mystery, man. Because of y'all, we able to put it down, and I hope you feel the same, man. With the Truth About Tupac.
Absolutely.
Action, we love you. Charles, we love you. Yo,
Hey, man.
can I get some music for the movie
Absolutely,
soundtrack?
man.
Hey,
Seeds to a bird, peanuts to an elephant, man. We're gonna do it.
And make sure, right after this, y'all push that subscribe button. You know the subscribe button. You know the subscribe. Yeah, push that.
Come take a ride on the west side with the ones putting it down. Shaw movie coming soon. Log in your goons, it ain't a cartoon, it's the platoon. Drop the bomb, Mo Preem Shakur family stand up.
It ain't nothing but a Cali thing, baby.
West Coast, homie.
Let's do it.
Yo, it's your boy Darius Love. Truth About Tupac Shakur channel, live at YouTube. Giving you an exclusive in the jailhouse with the only one, big brother, no other, Mo Preem Shakur. What it do, fam? Salam Akeem. I just first and foremost just want to thank you, big bro, for the legacy of which your family has laid, starting with dad, on down to moms, to your brother, and more importantly, you being the big brother. I got 5 siblings, and I think about the responsibility that it is to oversee my family. Sometimes you gotta be the big brother for mom and dad. And, you know, they say the best for last, but the first should be last and the last should be first. I just wanna sit here, have a nice conversation with you, go back in time for those that don't really know what it is to be a Shakur. One thing I always say to you is that what Shakur means to me is identity with integrity. Because being in this industry and coming from the streets, a lot of people lost themselves. And I just want you to give us what you always give me, big bro, that one-on-one, heart-to-heart, real-to-real.
All right.
Go back to, you know, when it started, before the entertainment industry, being in the revolutionary era, having so many different challenges from seeing, you know, uncles, aunties, on down to dad, being taken.
Everybody's blueprint is different. The one up above said everybody's blueprint to be different. The way your life goes doesn't necessarily mean that's the way my life is going to go. The way my life goes doesn't necessarily mean even my brother's life is going to go.
Yes.
You know, so basically you got to play the cards you dealt. And, you know, we, being Shakurs, have been given some very unique cards. You dig?
Yeah.
So, you know, my situation was, you know, my father's Matulu Shakur. And our father and my mother was like, you know, it was high school love. You know what I mean? They got together high school. It was, you know, they were two smart kids vibing and all passionate and shit.
Yeah.
And so that's where I came from. My pops doing this thing, but you know, black mothers, good black mothers, you know, gonna try to hold on to their kids. So my mother's basically single parent. I grew up in a single parent home, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, my father being the type of dude he is, he loves his kids. So he would try to help, you know? And when my mother was going to college, he agreed to take care of me for a year while she finished her last year of college.
Wow.
And so in that home was, you know, me, Afeni, Pac, and Set when she was born, because she's younger than us. So, you know, we lived together up in Harlem. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it's your boy Darius Love. I'm here in segment 2 with the original Mopreme Shakur, Thug Life founder, the one and only big brother to Tupac Shakur, legendary icon. We went into the first segment talking about what it is to be a Shakur, how the whole family, how Pops was a doctor, you know what I'm saying, an organizer in the community, how moms and all the family left from the Bronx, moved over into Oakland. Let's pick it up right here in Oakland and let them know, after you did the feature on Tony, and you was a first Shakur in the music business, how was that transition of you going from place to place, city to city, and now being a part of this music industry and this hip hop culture that's taking over?
It was my dream. You know, it was my dream to be in the game for sure, professionally, and going to have a chance to hear my song on the radio. You know, just like any other young kid, that was the dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to keep it. You know what I mean? To hold on to it, but that was the dream. And then reconnecting with my brother and my family, and then Pac was getting his breaks with Digital Underground. Shout out to Digital Underground, Shock and Money B, and he was on his own, so it gave him a self-confidence. You know what I mean? Self-esteem. I had my confidence, and we was smashing. We was like, let's get it. Let's get it for the family.
Word
for the
up.
family, so that our families could eat. You know,
Word.
We both each had our own extended families and shit. So it was his family should eat, my family should eat. It's for us. Let's ride, and then we could be able to. We'll be in a better position to do things for the community and you know, our people.
It's your host, Darius Love, and the truth about Tupac Shakur channel. We're 51 million viewers, 500,000 subscribers live at YouTube Space LA. This is our third segment with the one and only Mopreme Shakur, down to the core, identity and integrity, a family that has served the community and organizing the streets from the 70s all the way up into the current time that we're living in. We went back into the thug life and what thug life stands for, which is the hate you give little infants fucks everyone. Excuse my language, in a good way. What I mean by that is when you have a fatherless, a brotherless, a motherless environment, you have a lot of undeveloped, unorganized youth with a lot of adolescents knocking on your doors. As a Shakur, big bro, I honor you, I thank you, I salute you.
God bless you, bro. God bless you. God bless you.
So again, we learned about you being the first family member in the music. We learned about what it is to be a Shakur. We learned about what Thug Life stands for. We even got to give a shout out to all of our fallen soldiers in the process. I want to get into this third segment, specifically held just right now, so near and dear, on what you and Pac went through first as big brother, little brother, before the industry, and then secondly, you seeing your brother go through this industry and not leaving him alone, and then because of the industry, having to again separate from him.
Whew. Okay.
You know, it is the truth about Tupac, so we here to bring out the truth, man.
We kind of fuel each other's fires through the unique time in our lives. Pac was inspired by me, and then I in turn was inspired by my little brother. What my little brother had that I did not have was being able to be a movie star. So, you know, I made a conscious choice to, you know, sacrifice my solo career so he and I can do something together and on a bigger scale. Because at the same time, I was getting reacquainted with my brother and the rest of my family again. After like 8-9 years, we were separated. So I'm trying to get reacquainted with my little brother. We're becoming celebrities, we're becoming successful at the same time. So we were juggling a lot of big balls here, you know what I mean? And
But only the whole world watching everything you do.
Oh yeah, that's all. That's all. If you didn't argue and fight with Pac, you wasn't close to him. Straight up, if you did not have serious debate and go at it with Pac, you couldn't have been but so close to him. Because he's going to debate you down.
As an 80s baby, what examples I had to get me out of the crack-infested drug, gang essence and culture that we were living. And I look back at the Shakurs, I look back at Tupac, and I think that's why so many people can relate to him. Yellow, black, brown, white, because you actually see someone that takes the struggle and perseveres in a way to where everyone's affected and touched. And that's what Shakur means to me. And I'm so honored to have this moment in this interview with the one and only Mopreme Shakur. I want to give a big shout out to Mutulu Shakur, who right now we need everybody to subscribe, everybody to pray, everyone to write, and help bring our head father of the family home. We know that it's been long overdue. We know that the time is now. Now is never an opportunity wasted. And because of your loyal support, all 51 million viewers and followers, 500, 600,000 subscribers and counting, we can make this thing possible. The Machiavelli People's Party is real. We are now moving into the 2016 new election, and because of us understanding that the embodiment of people are a government, that we can now turn negatives into positives. We can do it in an organized way, the Shakur way. Anything you want to say, big bro, just to the people while we got their attention?
Much love and respect worldwide. Thug Life Outlaw Immortal, still riding. I want to say that everybody got to be on point. All our people, all my thugs, my thuggists, my outlaws, be on point, be smart. I'm real concerned about, this is Barack Obama's last 2 years in office. What's going to happen after that? Because, you know what I mean? For our people.
For the people.
For the people.
Humanity.
We are going to try to put some messages out there to, you know, there's too many young black males being murdered. So we're going to resend that message once again and focus on that.
All lives matter, not just black lives. We lost a few Latinos recently. We even lost a few Caucasians. I think right now the abuse that is taking place is unethic, it's unhuman, it's inhumane, and now it's time for us to simply use the visual and the audios as tools of protection, as tools of evolution. We call Pac not a revolutionary, an evolutionary. And we take this Shakur interview in this meeting of the minds and the Machiavellian People's Party to the forefront of the White House to the forefront of the government, of the legislative and the executives, and we are asking you, being the youth who want a future, who want a peaceful way of life and family and jobs, we want to be able to have our voice heard. And this is the generation that is now setting the curves because of technology, because of YouTube, because of Google, because of you guys using your phones to help us get these messages out. So do not take them lightly, do not take them serious. And you heard from Big Bro, this is the most important time of our lives to unite, and to unite with a cause and a purpose that is of peace and of love, and coming straight up from that thug life, positive energy that we take the negative and make positive as an alchemist like our great Tupac Shakur did. It's your boy Darius Love signing out on The Truth About Tupac, Tupac Shakur channel. It's not a cartoon, it's Platoon. Keep logging in, you goons. See you soon. Peace. Yo, hey, I'm sitting here with Money B right now. It's your boy Darius Love. We are here to let you know officially, exclusively, if you subscribe, you can now come to YouTube Live for the 44th annual Tupac Shakur birthday. Money B, Layla Steinberg, Ray Love, Mopreem Shakur, the whole family's gonna be there, or you. Only way you can get there is if you subscribe, and you might get a chance to dive live. Hit them with the channel to subscribe so they can take a ride with Dive Live.
The channel to subscribe to is the Going Way Back Show. Not going, Goin, G-O-I-N. The Going Way Back Show. Classic hip hop, raw and uncut. Check out your boy, Money B from Digital Underground, giving you all that old school shiznit that you love. So you feel me? So make sure you get it.
Going
Way
back. Make sure y'all get that right. Tell us about the show, Money, and how you're in syndication and live streaming now.
Well, the show is called The Going Way Back Show, and the tagline is classic hip hop, raw and uncut. And basically what it is, you know, it's a platform where we celebrate our classic artists. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of hip hop that we love and we always will love, but a lot of these artists are still active.
Right.
They're still touring, they're still making music. They have other endeavors. They move on to doing other things. So it's basically a platform where we celebrate our classic artists. You know, we share the music, but we also bring the artists on and, you know, let the people see what they're doing and let them tell their story.
So not just going way back, but actually going back to bring them forward and seeing what's relevant in their lives, how they reinvented themselves, different things that we all know as fans. We love them and adore them, but don't know what's currently going on with them.
Yeah, but we also go back and revisit, you know, the
history.
The history, you know, we'll put them on. Like,
give me one of your favorites, by the way, like one of your artists that you almost forgot that happened, but was such a pivoting point in hip-hop and in history and the lineage of hip-hop.
Well, I'm such a hip-hop fan. It's like some of the cats that I would mention probably wouldn't mean a lot to other people, but like Spider D. I don't know if you guys remember Spider D.
Come on.
You know, made Smurfy's dance or whatever. And he just was giving me a lot of game about, you know, the earlier times and stuff like that. Wow. And just, it was interesting, just the whole thing as far as, like, you know that song, This Is How We Do. That was a total bite of Spider D's song. And he was telling me how it was an ongoing lawsuit and Dre, like, they knew that they, so I wasn't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, they actually took that song and remade it. They just changed the bass line. But the drums are exactly the same. Wow. You know what I mean? And he was just telling me the whole get down to how that happened. You know, a lot of my favorites are just cats, because, you know, I've been in the game for 25 plus years.
Money,
so,
you look, oh, by the way, Money, you don't age. I don't know what kind of alkaline water you drinking. I don't know what's your method to the mayhem, but let me tell you.
It's that Stay Young vodka. You gotta get some.
Damn right, man, because, you know, it's funny because I look back. One of the things that I really look back and I can really say, now that I have you here and I'm asking you as a question, making a song but having a dance to it.
Right.
that's something you guys pioneered. Or was there an influence that everything has stem cells off of something, right?
Right. I mean, you had the Pee Wee Herman dance, the Pee Wee dance. I mean, it's been a lot of songs, man. You know, the twist. You know what I'm saying? It just goes back. I think with that song, the Humpty Dance is what we're talking about. I don't believe that it was made specifically to create a dance. My younger brother is actually, he helped come up with the dance. We did that song, it was in '89, and it was right around the time of the big earthquake in the Bay Area in San Francisco. And so if you think about it, the Humpty Dance is kind of like, kind of keep your balance and floor shake. My brother Cullen and Shock kind of formulated the dance, and it was derived from or inspired by the earthquake in '89.
Who would ever known that? That's the truth on the truth about Tupac, that you would have never known if you didn't have the one and only Money B. Money is so many, it's real shit, man. And also, you know, one thing I wanted to touch on was that the acting career for Pac. Yes, he was doing acting in performing arts school, but to switch over to professional, I've heard, quote unquote, from studying and going into the character and getting in the mind of Pac and the Pac energy, that you took him to the Juice audition.
Yeah, well,
it was your audition.
It was my audition.
Yeah.
We were writing to it, and then I just asked him to come along because I read the script and I was like, the character sounded like Pac, and I was asking him to help me because I knew he acted. And then I was just like, you know what? You should come because you'll probably have a better chance of getting it than I will.
What humility, brother.
You know.
I mean, that to me is something that when I think of Money B, and I think of somebody that continues to contribute to others,
right.
I mean, God is going to ask us in life, what do we do that was other than for ourselves?
Right.
And to see that you continuously have an influence in our lives, starting way back with Pac's lives and everybody you touched from the Digital Underground days, I mean, that's something that we don't see this day and time with artists.
Yeah.
They're so busy battling, they're so busy going at each other's neck that you don't see people sticking their neck out for each other. And I just had to commend you on that, brother, because Pac's acting career was just as important as his music career.
Oh, it was.
I think his first deal was kind of influenced off of him being this star that had a following.
What, with Interscope?
With Interscope. Is that something that Adrian, I was talking to Adrian, he was saying it helped him get the deal by the fact that he had this big movie coming out?
I don't know about that. Adrian will probably be able to tell you, but what I do know is that when he did get the deal with Interscope, they signed him because they believed in him as a complete artist. Because, you know, his revisionist history will tell us that Tupacalypse Now was this great album, this great successful album. Well, it kind of wasn't. It was a failure as far as sales when it came out. So if you think about it, in this day and age, had Tupac come out and put out an album that did the same numbers, basically,
right,
he would have been dropped.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he did 100,000 or something like that.
Right. It was a lowest selling album.
It was, But Jimmy Iovine, and not Jimmy Iovine, but
Ted Fields, Tom Wiley.
Tom Wiley.
Yes, sir.
They believed in Pac as an artist, so they overlooked the sales of
that album,
of the record. And it's like, you know, we believe in him. We think he's a star, so just make the next one. I still like the album.
Yes.
You know, but
it's some of the hip hop that is something about that album that it really speaks to the core of what Mr. Shakur was as an individual. He was more, for me, as I study him, I learned that he was an evolutionary, not a revolutionary. He was using the art to be a voice for the voiceless. He was a reporter. He was a reporter reporting what the stories that we lived that weren't getting out.
Right.
And it was just interesting to see somebody really put their neck on the line for us, like the stories where Brenda got a baby, to tell stories that most people was like, I ain't gonna go there, even though we know it's happening.
Right. Yeah, that Tupacalypse Now, that album, he did that record for us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like for the people. You know, he wanted to speak about what's going on, because you think about it, on that album, he wasn't really talking about how, you know, I'm shining. Well, he wasn't shining, so he couldn't. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
It wasn't a me record.
There you go.
Damn near every song was about a situation, subject, or some kind of issue that he had.
Yeah. Police brutality way back then.
Violent.
Violent.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Young black male.
Come on. Trap.
trap. Tears of, Ray Love wrote trap.
Absolutely. Big shout out to our big brother Ray Love, another pioneer of the Truth About Tupac movement. We sitting here with one of the board of directors, y'all. These are the guys that
Produced by
actually...
Pee Wee.
Produced by Pee Wee. Tell us about Pee Wee.
Pee Wee, Pee Wee, if you're familiar with Digital Underground, we had subgroups, Raw Fusion, we had Gold Money, which was Pee Wee and Big Money Otis, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Pee Wee is a dope-ass producer, musician, and rapper. He's just dope. All the way around.
Yeah.
But, he ended up eventually getting down with Too Short and the Dangerous Crew. So he did a lot of production for them for many, many years. And he did production with Prince, George Clinton, other people.
Wow.
But as of now, he's currently touring with Shock G and the Shock G Trio. He's just a dope-ass musician. Like, me and Pee Wee have been talking, so we got some music in the works.
What's up with you and the music?
And speaking of Pee Wee talking about the music, what's funny is I was just talking to him because he was so ahead of his time that I actually asked him if I could cover a song that they did called Young Blood. Was it Young Blood? Listen to the Gold Money album. The song when he talking about Daddy was a pimpin' ass motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about?
Word.
Yeah.
Big shout out to our boy Cletus Mack. What up, Cleet?
You listen to the lyrics of that record, that shit is relevant today. And I told him, I was like, dog, I want to just remake it and say the same lyrics.
Wow.
Over the same beat, just 2015 style. And that's how dope that Pee Wee was. Is that
he was that ahead of his time.
Ahead of his time that even now I want to redo and share some of that music. As far as new music, I'm always working on new music. As far as myself, I'm always going to do music, and it's not really something that I'm striving to, I'm not like, oh, I got to have this great.
Yeah, I need to starlight again. I need to start.
Yeah, I'm not,
Money B.
Yeah, it's just that it's just in me to create. But more importantly, I have an artist, and his name is Lil Mikey the Money Boy, and he's from East Oakland, California.
Word. What up, Oakland? What's shout out? Stand up, Oak.
Lil Mikey TMB, so you got to look out for him. He in the streets, man. His he buzzing in the streets as far as his music.
Yeah, he got a pioneer behind him.
That's
OG,
right.
A true OG to this.
And just to show you, he got the mechanics who are like Bay Area production. Yes. The mechanics. Anybody that you think coming out the Bay, E40, Too Short, Mac Dre.
Yes, sir.
All produced by the mechanics.
Yes, kind of like the Dungeon family of the Bay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I've been checking y'all out, man. Shout out.
The mechanics are the Bay Area sound.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to know what's happening in the Bay, if you hear something, pretty much the mechanics got something to do with it.
Yes, sir.
They touching it.
Yes, sir.
And they touching Lil Mikey the Money Boy. He's official. You know
What's his Instagram, his Twitter, his website? We only got 55 million followers following this.
Instagram at Eastside Nino96.
That's what's up.
Check them out.
That's what's. You got the music. You got the radio station. I mean the channel. I mean you're doing many I can basically say that you reinvented yourself to being the pioneer and the entrepreneur that we always knew you were.
And remember what he said. The YouTube channel, The Going Way Back Show. Get with us, man. Make sure you subscribe.
So on a note, right now we're gonna wrap out this Money B interview. We got a big shout out to Shock G, the whole Digital Underground. Just wanted to get a moment in Money B's current and past situation. We want y'all to check out the radio station. We want y'all to check out the YouTube channel. And more importantly, we want y'all to subscribe and let us know how y'all like this interview. All right? Stay tuned. It's your boy D Love, Truth About Tupac. Tupac. Yo, it's going down right here at YouTube Live. We right here on the Truth About Tupac. Y'all come take a ride on Pac's 44th birthday. Come see the real ones. Original Outlaw Nutso. Original Rider of the Ghetto Store. Big motherfucker providing these opportunities for y'all. We still keeping this Pac movement alive. It's your boy D Love.
Peace, what's up? Truth About Tupac movement, Tupac Shakur channel worldwide. It's your boy Asher Underwood with the one and only Sean Cole Nutso.
What's up, my man?
Man, it's good to see you, bro.
Oh, man, likewise, you too.
Man, for those of you that don't know, for those of you who have not been following this movement for the last 4 or 5 years, Nutso was probably the first interview for Truth About Tupac that took place on camera. I'd done an audio interview with Lionel Martin, shouts out to Lionel Martin, but Nutso was the man I met through Layla Steinberg. Shouts out to Layla Steinberg.
Shouts out.
microphone sessions, and we started chopping it up. We're talking about your history, and here we are now, 4 years later, doing it big at YouTube, all kinds of things in the works. You have a big history, I mean a deep history and connection to Pac's legacy and what you're doing now and your family and all that. So if we could just, for those that don't know about that history, just tell them a little about who is Sean Cole Nutso, how you came to meet Tupac, why you're relevant to the world of Tupac fans out there.
Right. Well, to those that don't know, government, Sean Cole, stage name, or also known as Nutso Outlaw, or Nutso Outlaw, as all my social sites would say. Man, coming around and getting to know Tupac, when you listen to, the music before meeting Tupac, it's like you felt like you already know him, like, you know what I'm saying? So for those that didn't get the chance to meet Tupac, when they hear their music, I'm pretty sure that they feel the same, that they knew him at one point in time, or that they would get to know him. And that's how I felt at that time. It was like both of them. It was like when I was listening to his music, I'm like, man, I know him. I know him. And then it was like, man, I got to get down there. You know what I'm saying? So, which kind of, play a part in that telekinesis type of thing, you know what I'm saying?
So going back real quick, before we go into telekinesis, tell me that. So you need to like get down there. So tell us a little about that. How did you feel when you first met Tupac, and like tell us about that call that you got?
Man, it was like I was dealing with MC Hammer, a good friend of mine, you know what I'm saying, a Oakland native like myself. So it was bound, we was bound to run into each other in the street. So, musically related, you know what I'm saying, got to kicking it with MC Hammer, you know what I'm saying, going to the studio, laying down some music, and, after a while, I just like, Ham, I want you to, manage my solo album. At that time, I was forming a group called Street Thugs. So we was trying to do some Bay Unity type of thing, which the other members was from San Francisco, and I was from Oakland. So we was doing the 41510 type of things, unifying Oakland and San Francisco, because at that time, it was a lot going on in the streets between Frisco and Oakland or whatnot. But I went to Hammer. I'm like, Hammer, I want you to, manage my album. I'm on my solo album now. So he was like, all right, cool. I was kind of thinking that anyway. And you know what I'm saying? I'll get back at you when I get a word on something. So I came home one night from Oakland, and I had a message on my phone, and it was MC Hammer. He was like, Nutso. It was a couple of messages. He was like, Nutso, man, I've been waiting for you. I've been looking for you, man. Hit me back. Trying to get you out here to L.A., man. Tupac, I want to meet you. Tupac. I'm like, oh, well. So I hit him instantly. I cut the message short. Yo, what's up, Ham? What's happening, man? Man, my bad. I was just, been out there trapping, man. What's going on, man? I can hop on that flight right now. He's like, nah, last flight already out, but you can hop on the first thing in the morning. So I'm like, cool. So I get up. I don't even think I went to sleep. I'm like, I'm gonna go meet Tupac. I ain't going to sleep. So I get on the plane the next morning, shoot down to L.A., hooked up with Ham. Ham put me in the room. I was in the room for a few hours, got a call from Pac, went down to the studio. Pac was like, man, I've been waiting to meet you, man. I heard your music, man. I love your music, man. I hope you want to join the team. I want you on the team. Man, say no more.
Man, so
I was with it.
So that's interesting. So let me ask you this. So since you bring up MC Hammer and the roots, I mean, anyone who's been around and knows the history of hip hop, like MC Hammer, obviously he came in the game at a very interesting time. He did his thing, and he was kind of somebody that was there a part of Death Row for a while. That a lot of people don't even know that Hammer was a part of Death Row when they think back.
Definitely.
A lot of Pac fans especially don't know that history. But also, you have a family history in relation to Keisha Cole, your sister, right? So where does her relationship to Pac come into the picture? Did she already know Pac, or was that?
Well, that was through me. I introduced her to Tupac as well, and when I introduced Keisha to Tupac, I was like, yo, Pac, that's my little sister. He was like, what, that's your sis? That's your sis? I'm like, man, that's my sis. He said, well, that's my little sister too. So, and that was they meet right there, so.
That's awesome. And how did it feel? Like, how did it feel like being accepted by Pac? So, like you said, you're already a fan of his music,
right?
And then, you later becoming inducted into the Outlaws, being a part of the Outlaws.
Man, it was amazing, man, to to be hearing Tupac's music and then hear the history and the controversy that was being, surrounding Tupac. Him getting shot, going to jail, and everybody on the West Coast and Cali and Oakland was like, oh man, let him get through this, let him get through this. So, you know, when he got through that, Me Against the World album dropped when he was in jail, and we was on it like, oh my goodness. Then he did the song with If I Die Tonight. So it was like, man, come on, man, get up out that situation, man, so we can meet you. So, you know, then we hear Tupac getting out. We hear Tupac in the West. We hear Tupac's on the death row. We hear Tupac getting it in, and I was like, man, now to actually witness, you know what I'm saying, everything that I was seeing, like, come true. You know what I'm saying, on the back end, because I was like, wow, I'm like, it took me a minute, you know what I'm saying, when I met Pac, I was like, man, I'm here with Tupac, like, that's crazy. But then it didn't hit me right then. It later hit me, you know what I'm saying, when we start going to events and stuff like that, and we'd be out deep and all these little parties and stuff, then I start thinking, I'm like, man, I am in the center of hip hop. I am in the core of hip hop, and I was just like, man, that's what's up. That was it was kind of like an unexplainable feeling, you know what I mean? So, you know.
So and so it's interesting also because then Hammer was he was on the road at that time,
right?
I guess, right? So that was like an immediate, and so that's really interesting. So coming forward, so you know, one of the if we speak about the Outlaws, we speak about your involvement with Pac, like just real quick, we gotta cover Ghetto Star.
Right.
And you know, that was our first interview where you tagged the line about moving people with telekinesis, and you and Pac both just like going in so deep on those verses. Like you've talked to me a little bit about it before, but for those that have not heard that story and know the significance of that song and kind of where Pac's head was, where your head was, is young brothers from the hood, like you say, coming up trapping out the streets. We wasn't even calling it trapping back then.
We wasn't even trapping back then. It was, man, it was just, man, I'm trying to get it. You know, man, I'm trying to get it.
So
man.
So break down Ghetto Star. You know what I mean?
Man, Ghetto Star. This is a story that a lot of people don't know. So we was sitting in the studio, and actually we was riding one day, and me and Tupac was riding, and a beat came on the radio. It was an old school beat, and I was like, man, that's kind of dope. And Pac was like, yeah, that'd be kind of dope. I said, if I get somebody to redo that for us, that'll be me and you. He was like, man, get him to knock it out. So I called my homeboy, you know what I'm saying, his name was Geo Twice, and I tell him, I said, yeah, man, I'm trying to get you to do, you gotta hurry up though, you gotta hurry up, man, I'm trying to get you to do this song with me, you know, for me and Pac. He's like, man, you playing, man, don't be calling my phone playing. I'm like, all right, man, you think I'm playing if you want, I'm gonna call other dude, man, you gotta get that beat from other dude, man, you know what I mean, so he was like, all right, man, what's the deal? So I said, all right, man, we need your government, we need your date of birth, man, we finna book this flight for you, you can come down here, me and Pac finna get in the studio, we need that beat. So he was like, all right, man, don't be playing, man, that's how he talk. All right, man, don't be playing, man, anybody know Geo Twice, that's how he talk. So, you know, I flew him out, got into the studio. As soon as the ticket was paid for, he knew it was kind of real. So he got on a plane, picked him up from the airport. So when the flight got booked, then, you know, Geo Twice knew that it was, you know, it was real at that point. So we get there, he like, so what's up, man? We on? I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it, man. Let's knock out this beat. So we get to the studio. He meet Pac. He like, okay, I got to get on it. And so he was actually supposed to have a portion of the beat already made, and then just come and just add a couple little sounds. And I forget the sample it was, but the Ghetto Star that came out on Better Days album, that is the exact original. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the only original song on that album. So, you know, that's what Tupac really rapped to. That's what we sat down and wrote to, that actual beat. There's a lot of people on YouTube and all these other sites saying, that's not the original version. This is because there's so many remixes out there. You know what I'm saying?
So that is the OG.
That's the OG, man. That's the one. That is a trio creation right there. You know what I mean? Me and Tupac, we sat in the studio, side by side on the board, writing on the board. My man Geo Twice was doing the beat behind us. That was a wonderful vibe, and until. It was this one incident where we was in there writing, and this guy came in there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So
right, yeah. So this guy came in there, and you know, I guess, you know, he had read the bulletin board, you know what I'm saying, on who was coming in on what days. So he's sitting in the studio. It's just me, Pac, and the producer. So he come walk right into the studio in the middle of us writing, and lean up against the wall and prop back. So we still writing. I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe that's, one of the homies or something. You know what I mean? Pac thinking maybe that's not so homie, right? So we sitting there writing, and then Pac just a couple minutes later, Pac just turned to me and said, "Nuts, man, this your homie?" I looked up and said, "Man, I thought he was with you, man. I came down here with me and the producer." He said, "You don't know him?" I said, "I don't know him. I don't know who he is." He said, "Wait a minute." So he stopped everything. Hey, man, who you here for? Who you here with? Because that day, the studio was supposed to have been blocked off. You know what I'm saying? So it was just me and Pac in there and the producer that day. So Pac asked him, he was like, "Man, who you in here for?" And he was like, "Nobody." No, well, Pac said, "Who you in here with?" And he was like, "Nobody. I just seen your name that you was here." He was like, he came the other day or last week or something and seen that Tupac was scheduled to come in on that day. So he decided and took it upon his own, you know what I'm saying, to come up there, to show up. So now it's like, but he came by himself, you know what I'm saying, and he was in there. And so Tupac was like, "Wait a minute. You ain't in here with nobody? You don't know nobody in here?" And dude was like, "I just come to watch the session." Tupac was like, "Nah, dog, you gotta go." Then he got up and walked past him like, "Man, yo," talking to the, security and people. He was like, "Yo, man, who let this up in here, man? Like, man, all up in my session, man. And my session's supposed to be blocked off and closed off. My name ain't even supposed to be on the board." Blah, blah. So Pac kind of like went off and flashed on the people, the employees that was there. So they ended up coming, getting and removing dude. And Pac was like, "Oh, man, I'm glad that wasn't your homie," because I was like, "Oh, why not so bring this dude? Like, who this dude weird?" So I was like, man, I ain't know what to think. I thought that was one of your homies. He was like, "Nah, man, he's sitting over there whispering," like, because I'm sitting to the right of Pac. Pac's sitting to the left of me, and the door is like to the left of Pac. And the dude walked in the door and just linked up against the wall. So Pac was like hearing him whisper some things like Pac, like trying to ask him something. So I guess that is what agitated Pac to be like, "Yo, man, so is this your homie?" So, at that point when, green light, that ain't my homie. I don't know him, you know what I mean? So, that situation went like that. And it was resolved quick and peaceful, you know what I'm saying? So, and then we got back to work. And it was just one of those moments, man. It was just one of those days. And then another thing that people don't know about Ghetto Star started off with the title of Burying One of Our Own. So we was writing to the title Burying One of Our Own to the same beat. And then Pac was like, "Nah, you know what? We can't do this to that beat. We got to come like I was like, "Man, I'm with it. I'm rocking with the punches. Let's roll. Whatever you say, let's do it." And so, that's how we, and he was like, "Man, I'm thinking like no hook, like we just come back to back to back." And he was like, "Well, maybe we just throw a hook in the middle. We come back to back, then throw a hook, then back to back." I was like, "Man, it's cool. Let's do it. However you want to work it." So, and that was the birth of Ghetto Star.
So now here we are 18, 19 years later, and Ghetto Star is coming back. Can you talk to us a little about that?
Right. Well, in the hood, you would always have a ghetto star, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you got drug dealers, the ghetto star ain't really necessarily got to be a drug dealer or a thug, you know what I'm saying, or a gangster or a killer, you know what I'm saying? A ghetto star could be somebody that's doing something good for the community, you know what I'm saying? So to bring that back, the ghetto star was going to be like a movement. You know what I'm saying? So Tupac was actually going to form a group involving me called Ghetto Stars, me, him, and whoever was to be the pick. So from that, you know what I'm saying, we did the Ghetto Stars song, and like I was saying, you know what I'm saying, you got drug dealers, killers, gangsters, thugs, and ghetto heroes. You know what I'm saying? They could be Ghetto Stars. So that's what I'm finna talk about as far as promoting or pushing the title Ghetto Star. You know what I'm saying? So me and my other outlaw brother, Edie, you know what I'm saying, we doing a duo album. And we calling it Ghetto Star. So, you know what I'm saying, it'll be a joint venture outside of some outlaw material, you know what I'm saying?
And that's scheduled for release 2014 or 2015?
Yes, we're trying to release that this year. So
Salute, Edie Don, Outlaw.
You know what I mean? And with that, man, it's a great album, man. It's a great album coming, man. It got a lot of hits on there, got a lot of kicks on there, man. It's, you know, we getting up them features on it, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a great album that people want to check out, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it right, you know, so we're gonna do 2-3 videos, you know what I'm saying, put it out there. We're gonna really treat it like it's an album instead of just some songs put together, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, we definitely want to be a part of helping y'all get that out there. So
Most
keep us
def.
posted. What do you think about when you talk about stars? You know, we talk about stardom and all this. Like here, we got the movie rolling out. What do you think about the upcoming Tupac biopic? Do you expect to be on there? Your character, your scenes that you're a part of. Like, what do you expect from the movie?
That's a good question. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like over the years, it's been a lot going on with the Tupac thing, and a lot of I control it, a lot of I don't, a lot of he do, a lot of she don't, a lot of she do, a lot of he don't, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So I don't expect to be in it, you know what I'm saying, because when people write bios of people, they write their own perception of it. You see what I'm saying? So their perception might not include me, just for the simple fact that he didn't meet me or she didn't meet me or whatever the situation may be. What matters to me most is that I met and knew Tupac. I met and knew Afeni Shakur. So they know that I'm in Pac's life, as well as I'm on the album Pac's Life. You see what I'm saying? So if you're gonna do something about a person's bio or a person's life, then it's not wrong to not add certain people in it, because that's, like I said, that's your view of his story.
Sure.
So who's to say is the right. So, you know what I'm saying, when they come to me or any other outlaws and they say, hey, what's your story? Then that story is going to be credited by those that do know.
I get that. So let me ask you this. Just because it's a current event, it's hot off the press, and you were there, obviously, within the inner workings of Death Row at a time, and Suge just got shot the other day. Pretty crazy event. And we were kind of talking before. You being connected with Pac, you're one of the people that has not only an open mind, and you kind of, you knew Pac personally, but yet you're able to see how sometimes the fans only get scraps of information here. They think this and that. And it's just, Suge's kind of interesting because for the last 2 years he's been running around talking about Pac being alive, possibly smoking Cuban cigars in other places, and now Suge shot up, like, which in a nutshell, like, man, what's up with Suge in 2014, and what's up with this idea of everyone thinking Pac's still alive? Like, how do we rectify those two?
We can kind of blame that on Tupac, you know what I'm saying, because of the lyrical content that he left us, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I know what it is, but even when I listen to his lyrics, I'll be like, man, he said that, like, he really said that, like, you know what I'm saying. So, I mean, it's a lot of lines that we can pick out of his songs that people is targeting to say, oh yeah, he's alive, you see what I'm saying, or he did this song after his, timely death or whatever, you know what I'm saying. So, lines like, what's that one, Ballad of a Dead Soldier, or, you know what I'm saying, oh man, it's, that's a deep song right there. So, you know what I'm saying, even when he say, you know what I'm saying, yeah.
Move me and my peeps to a mansion in Brazil,
yeah,
in
man,
Jamaica,
and all that.
daiquiris.
Not even that, even the most important line in that song is when he said, a blind man in a dead body, I meant to leave town. You see what I'm saying? So, that right there, that theory alone right there, have people be like, oh, wait, did he say that? A blind man in a dead body, I meant to leave town. You know what I'm saying? So when you define it,
Please elaborate on the blind man in the dead body. That actually
I ain't gonna elaborate
but you did say that's one of the deepest lyrics on there.
You're gonna ask that same question again.
Yeah, that's a crazy. I knew he was gonna say something.
Right. Something off the wall, right?
Oh, that's off the wall right there. Wow. Okay.
That's that same thing.
Blind man in a dead body.
All right, so I mean, you know what I'm saying? That alone right there would cause people to be like, oh, he's in another country. Oh, he's in Cuba. From that right there, a blind man in a dead body, I meant to leave town and get my cash though. Hook up with Castro. You see what I'm saying? Blast on the task. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot that he wrote and left us, you know what I'm saying, to make him think that even in the song that I'm in with him, you know what I'm saying, people think he was still alive after that. I retired from a life that never gave me shit, but cash that I couldn't spend in countless cars. An addict for a wife, my life as a ghetto star.
Yo, it's your boy Darius Love, aka Truth About Tupac, host, Tupac Shakur channel. We streaming live, we global, we ain't local. I'm sitting here with the Macadocious, original Thug Life member, Boss Mac Boss, the one and only original Bout That Life, aka the man with the plan, dogs, entertainment. You can catch him on the avenue being an entrepreneur. He's been doing so many different things to the community. He's leading as a lead coach at the Carson Raiders. They was a champions last year.
Carson Ravens, baby. Let them know.
Like the Baltimore
Yeah,
Ravens.
there it is.
Your son Dion, 14 touchdowns.
AKA Boogie.
Boogie out there.
17 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards rushing last year. And shout out to all the rest of the kids from the Carson Ravens. Tiny Mike, we won that Super Bowl last year. We coming to get it again this year at the Pee Wee level. Yeah, we finna do that, man.
Just left the Bling Bling Dog session in Santa Clarita. It was an amazing dog show. My man Joey Lucky went out there and represented with the Truth About Tupac cameras.
Joe Luck right here, truthabouttupac.com. Got the homie Macadocious right here.
You already know what it is, Macadocious, a.k.a. Boss Mac. You know what it is. You don't stop. You know what I mean? We out here at the Bling Bling Dog Show, man, doing it real big out here in Santa Clarita, man. I got my boy Wu-Tang right here. You feel me? This off Dax and my boy Miyagi. You feel me? You don't stop.
To see exactly what I mean about this man. He is such a renaissance man. He's doing so many things for the community. So we had to have him here exclusive on the Truth About Tupac, on the Tupac Shakur channel. And everybody that's subscribed and ride, you might get a Bout That Life t-shirt. You might get a shirt of Wu-Tang, one of the illest dogs from Dax.
Yeah.
Tell them about that, man. Let them know about that life, man.
Look, let me tell you, first of all, I'm gonna tell you about this t-shirt right here, man. This t-shirt is called Bout That Life. And the bottom of it, the punchline is, it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And I made this t-shirt for people that's into the fitness life and the healthy way of life and living. You know what I mean? You know, working out save a lot of people's lives, man. You know, you got people that's former addicts and people that's going through stress problems and health problems with their high blood pressure and stuff like that. Working out and living a healthy lifestyle is the way to go, and that's what this t-shirt is about. And the reason I said it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle, is this is for the people that's really dedicated to the lifestyle, not the weekend warrior or the guy that's coming in the beginning of the year and say, oh, I'm finna work out and blow up, and then he's gone after a week. This is for people that's really dedicated to it. So if y'all really dedicated to the healthy lifestyle and living healthy and trying to live a long, healthy life, this the t-shirt for you, Bout That Life, all right?
What's all good wealth without good health?
Exactly.
Hey, shout out to Asphalt, my man Stevie Williams. I had to put on my, you know what I'm saying, my Thug Life game. Came in with my short game, my sock game, my little jewel game.
Yeah,
looking like I'm a little hungry today, you know what I'm saying? That to the big homie, he taught me my swag, gave us the chance to over here throw the soldier rag up. We got our soldier rag, we got a cup of Hennessy on our way, but we finna go into this next segment.
Let me run into him on this though too, D, about that boy Wu-Tang, man.
That's what I
about
wanted you
that
to tell
dog.
him, man.
Hey, look, man, let me let you know about Wu-Tang, okay? Wu-Tang is a dog that I raised and I bred, and he's the star of my kennel. My kennel is called Boss Mac Bullies, and Wu-Tang is the son of a famous dog named Miyagi. I bred Miyagi I bred my female with the help of George Soto. Shout out to George Soto. He's the owner of Miyagi. He was kind enough to let me use his boy, man, and we created my star on my label, on my kennel label, Boss Mac Bullies, Wu-Tang. And he's a year old right now. We just had him at the Fling Bling Dog Show last week, over the weekend. And for the people that was there and seen Wu-Tang at a year old, they'll let you know what I'm talking about, man. The boy is a real beast. So be on the lookout for this dog, because he's going to be doing big things. And I also want to shout out my boy Ernesto from the Bully Camp line, Ernesto. Great guy, man. You know, show me number love since we met. You know what I mean? He got a great dog, too, named Kung Fu Panda. Be on the lookout for this dog. His dog he's what you call an exotic bully. He's about this short. I mean, low to the ground, super wide, a nice headpiece on him, really put together dog. So we looking forward to doing some upcoming breedings with Wu-Tang's mom going to Kung Fu Panda. So if I threw Miyagi, if I threw Wu-Tang with Miyagi and Wu-Tang's mom, I wonder what's gonna happen when we take her to Kung Fu Panda. Woo, big things, man. Y'all be on the lookout for that.
So anybody about that health life, about that dog life, about that thug life, you gotta holler at the Boss Mac, OG Macadocious. We're gonna go into this next segment and we're gonna tell y'all how him and Pac used to go lift weights, go to the shooting range, be rolling around in them things and Watts, hooking up all the kids, you know what I'm saying, how they used to write in the studio, everything to the whole thug life, how it formed, and how thug life ain't dead. You know what I'm saying? Because we always in the struggle. So we're going to go out right now. If anybody want to take some hits or want to make some calls and ask some questions, come into the next segment. All right, it's your boy D-Love. Truth About Tupac, Tupac Shakur channel. It ain't a movie, it's a movement, y'all. Let's go.
Please believe it. Bye.
My name is Clifford Brown, aka 100 Don American. I'm from Davenport, Florida, and I just want to give a shout out to Tupac for his 44th birthday. Happy birthday, Tupac. Shout out to Truth About Tupac. Thank you for allowing me to love myself. Thank you for inspiring young black males such as myself. Thank you for allowing me to love being black, for your sacrifice for black people in general. I just want to thank you, man. Thank you for inspiring us, just like Malcolm X, just like Martin Luther King, just like Maya Angelou. I thank you, man. I love you. I miss you. I hope you're not disappointed. I'm your living scholar. You know, I'm 25 years old. One love, eternal love, the rebel. Happy birthday, man. I love you.
Yo, so we gonna take a question right now from my man Joey. He wanna know, what's your favorite memory with Pac, Matt?
Oh, man. My favorite memory with Pac definitely got to be something personal, man. Like I said, man, when we was on 95th and Normandy, man, lifting weights, man, in the backyard. And, you know, Pac was a skinny dude, man. Like I said, I told Pac, man, that's too much weights, man. You ain't gonna be able to lift all that weight. And he was like, man, get out the way, man. I got it. So, you know, he got up under all this weight, and he got it up off the rack. He got it down, and he went to get it up, and I was like trying to help him out. He's like, watch out, I got it. And he get it up, and then when he went to rack it, bam, it like pinched his hand right there. So, he jumped up, his hand was bleeding and stuff. He like, man, why you? I said, man, I tried to get it. He was like, man.
It's your fault.
So it's all my fault,
Yeah.
man. But it was just so funny, man, to just see how this dude just reacted when he, like, his hand got hurt or whatever. But it was just like, that memory right there was like away from like the music and stuff like that. It was just more personal, like some real brother type stuff, little brother, big brother, little brother type stuff, just hanging out, lifting weights and, you know, just kicking it, man. You know, me and Pac had a lot of times like that. You know
Now,
what
y'all
I mean?
used to go to the shooting range. That was another one of your favorite things you used to do.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, man,
I
we
know
used to
doing
go
that.
to Evans shooting range right there in Watts, man.
Watts up to the whole Watts block.
Yeah.
It's your
Shout
boy
out to
D-Love.
Watts, man, no doubt.
Yeah. My nigga Hydro running the grape card.
Already.
The 9-7s and Front Streets,
Snoopy
the back
Blue.
streets, Snoopy Blue.
Yep. Spotted Loke.
Spotted Loke, what it do?
Hey, you already know, man.
Hey, the hub and the dub, my swans, my B&J. Hey, come on, man, all my family.
So, yeah, man, you know, we used to hang out, man, and watch at the Evans shooting range, and that was my first time shooting an AR-15, man.
Woo.
And I'm talking about that's a powerful
What year was
gun.
that?
That was like around about 93,
When they was
94.
rapping about him.
Yeah, man, yeah.
He was being about him.
Oh, please believe it. You know what I mean? So Pac used to go in, he used to like shoot the twin nines. He had the twin nines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he'd go in there and shoot the twin nines. But I remember we had this AR-15, and the guys that ran the shooting range, they made us dig the trench up even higher because that gun's so powerful, it'd hit the back of that wall and it'll ricochet. So, man, we got to busting that AR-15. I'm talking about it was like, pop! I mean, pop! Like real loud to where people would get behind the walls. It was so loud, you know what I mean?
That's why you got them 40 inch.
Hey, man,
them
you know, I
guns
was
on your
handling that
shoulders.
thing, though, you know what I mean? But, yeah, we used to have fun going to the shooting range a lot, you know, and I remember one time just rolling through Watts, man. You know, we was in a limo one time, and we was rolling through Watts, and I remember the little kids was out there just jumping around, oh, Tupac. And I was like, Pac, man, oh, he love the kids, bro.
Hey,
And I was-
well, this place, a place called Home in Watts was a charity he would always go to. With
Oh,
the
yeah,
kids.
that too. But this time we was just rolling through the neighborhood and just happened to see some kids hanging out. And I was like, Pac, we need to let them roll in the limo, man. This probably their first time or last time riding in the limo. And, you know, some celebrities, man, they probably be like, you know, we ain't got time for all that, man, whatever. Pac was like, yeah, come on, let them in, you know what I mean? So we opened up the door and let the little kids in, and we just rolled around the blocks for about 10, 15 minutes.
Bossing,
not really
flossing.
going nowhere, just
Yeah.
moving around with the kid. And I know to this day, them kids, whoever them kids is, they probably still got that memory, man. So that was just a good thing, and that was Pac Hart, man. That he was like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
you know, it's funny you say that, man. You know, everybody talked about how a real person he was, no matter how much he was going through, no matter if he was in the court cases, if he was doing a movie, if he was recording, he was still a real, authentic human that could take time out and relate to what the struggle was. And that's where Thug Life actually pulled his essence from. The hate you gave little infants nearly fucks everyone. Tell me about Thug Life and how the struggle still continues, because some people think it died.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said before, man, the struggle could never die, man. You know, Pac always, like, used to use an example of, like, the mother who got to work 2 and 3 jobs at a time to support her kids, man. You know, she come in from work, last job at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. She got to get right back up at 7 and go to the next job, you feel me? So there's no way that Thug Life can die, because the struggle would never die. It's women that's still doing that to this day, you know what I mean? There's single parent fathers, they got to work 3 and 4 jobs, and they struggling, so they living the Thug Life. That Thug Life don't necessarily mean you out here selling drugs and you out here robbing and you doing something negative. Thug Life is doing whatever it takes to survive.
I love that.
You dig what I'm saying?
To those that was hopeless, homeless,
Right.
voiceless, we giving them a pat on the back. We giving them encouragement, letting them know we still see you.
Exactly.
And we riding for you.
Exactly, and that's what it is. Like, we're able to relate to them because we still struggling. We still in the struggle.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's what it was about back when we created Thug Life. It was like a way to relate to the people that was going through what we going through. And they looked at us like, okay, we can feel them because, shit, they right here with us. They speaking on the things that we going through because they still living it.
True.
You know what I mean? So we was a voice for the people. You know what I mean? And we gave them hope. And still to this day, Thug Life can never die. That spirit, energy don't die, bro.
To
You feel me?
Macadocious, to my boy Rated R. Right now, we know you holding it down. We really
shout out to Rated,
Shout
man.
it R.
Hold your head, boy. Salute.
Salute, doing a real bid. But we know you never die. Your memory continues to multiply in this generation into the next generation.
Please
you know what I'm saying?
believe
It's a nation, baby. This ain't no cartoon, it's a platoon. And to my man Big Sight, to Mo Preem, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that was down with the Thug Life movement, this segment's for you. I want you to tell me, man, I mean, you got so many songs from Cradle to the Grave, you know what I'm saying?
How long will you mourn
How
me?
long
Bury
will-
me a G. Shit don't stop. Don't get it twisted. I mean, the list goes on, bro.
To my man Kato, my favorite line.
Kato,
you
rest
said.
in peace, man. That's my guy, man.
Rest in
You know what I
paradise.
mean? Yes, sir. You know, it was just a blessing, man. You know, it was a blessing to be involved with these guys, man, and to get to know these guys and to create with these guys. You know, we all came from similar backgrounds, so
Yeah.
it was like, you know, like we were talking off camera, man. Everything is written. I believe that everything is preordained and it's already there. So we just walking through the script.
It's written, we just gotta play our position.
And that's it right there. You know what I mean? So me being with Pac and Big Syke and Mo and Rated R, Pac didn't put us together, God put us together.
Amen.
You feel me? So he already had Pac group put together to sing. I mean, out of 1 million people in the world, bro, and I think about this all the time, 1 million people in the world that just wanted to shake Tupac's hand or get a picture with Pac or get an autograph with Pac. Why me? Out of 3 or 4 or 5 other cats was picked to actually tour with this guy,
'Cause
to
you a
live
real
with
G.
this guy, to ride with this guy, to create with this guy. You know what I mean? All that's got to be, you know, God sent, bro. So
Mac,
I appreciate
you
that.
a real G, Mac. I see you in every hood gets embraced. Whether we on the block of the 9-7s, whether we back on the block in Watts, whether we in Inglewood. See, a real king can walk with the peasants or the kings and not lose his common touch.
All the time.
And that's one thing why I had to come on the block with you that night and spend some time with you like you spending time with us, because I know you give back so much to the community. And I know that the community embraces and supports you so much. From what you have done in the Thug Life movement and what you've done with Pac, I mean, I sit back and I was laughing and thinking about the story you was telling me about how you and Pac was actually you was driving Pac's car, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And the people wanted an autograph from you, but not just any people, them boys.
Them boys, yeah.
Yeah, tell them about that one, man.
Yeah, it was like one time, man, I remember my car was in the shop or whatever, so I got at Pac, and he was like, man, whatever, man, here, take the keys. So he gave me the keys to his Benz, and I'm riding this dude Benz, man, all through the hood. I'm in the middle of South Central.
Yeah.
And I get hit with the lights, you know what I mean? Police pull me over, and, you know, they jack me up, handcuff me, everything. They like, man, you know who car this is? I'm like, do I know who car this is? Look in the back seat. So they look in the back seat and they see promotional pictures of Thug Life with me on there and Pac and stuff. So then they looking and they like, that's you right there? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Now take the damn handcuffs
off. So you know
off.
what I mean? They take the cuffs off. When they take the cuffs off, they was like, man, you think we could get an autograph?
Hell no,
You feel
fuck
me?
y'all.
That bullshit, man. So, you know, that was a funny story, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, Pac was like that, though, too, again. You know what I'm saying? Car was down, he gonna give you the keys to his car. I remember one time, bro, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. This on some real gangster shit, man. I had got into it with some dudes, you know, in the city, man, and you know, I told Pac about it, and I went out, this is when he stayed out in the valley, man, and I went to his house, and Pac just went in the room and came outside the room and just threw about 5 guns on the table.
Real
He
talk.
said, man, you know what, take whichever one you want. I picked that 40 up, you feel me? And, you know, to say nothing else, you know, that was just a good look, man. You know what I mean? Whatever I needed, if Pac could be there for you, he gonna be there for you, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't know negative shit, but that's what your homie gonna do for you.
I remember you had told me you went and did a bid in 95 and 96. And then when you came home, the last time you had seen Pac, you was at the Forum together, and he was going on his bid.
Yeah. Well, actually, what happened was I just had got out, and Pac had been out for a minute. And I was at the Forum at a Laker game, man, and I'll never forget when I seen him. It was funny. I was on the phone. If people remember the Forum, it was a phone booth that used to be right in front of the Forum Club. Okay, right?
Before you go down the
right.
stairs.
And I'm right there on the phone booth, and I'm talking to my boy Stretch about Pac, and he was like, yeah, you know, your boy out. And I'm like, yeah, man, I ain't seen him yet, you know?
Wow.
So you know how you speak up somebody and they pop up? I'm on the phone talking about my boy, and I see the limo pull up.
How real is that?
And go Suge hopping out the limo, and then I see Pac hopping out the limo. I said, Pac, called him. He looked, came over, man, ran over, gave me a big hug, man. He was like, what's up, man? You coming in? Come on, come in with us.
Real talk.
And I was actually about to bounce, go somewhere.
Real
and
talk.
still to this day, bro, to this day, I wish I would have went in. You feel me? Because he was ready for me to go in with him. Wow. And, you know, that's the last time I really seen my boy. I talked to him a couple days after that, but that's the last time I seen him, you know, in person alive.
You didn't fuck with Suge the Death Row era days?
No, actually, I was gone when Pac got with Suge. I was locked up. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So
shout out to my nigga Suge who locked up right now.
Yeah.
I know a lot of shit went down with the Bone situation on the NWA set, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, anybody that's dead, rest in paradise. Anybody that's having an altercation, we gonna ride with and we gonna support and we gonna give our love to. But at the same time, we gonna leave it in God's hands and let the truth set us free. And that's why we represent the truth about Tupac. You feel me? We don't favor no man. We follow the man, the
That's
original
right.
and the one and only. You know, so a lot of people with your questions, anybody got anything to ask Macadocious in this segment or the truth about Tupac on the Tupac Shakur channel live in YouTube space LA, you holler at your boy D-Love in the making of Pac. Fucking goons. Say no cartoon, log in, subscribe, come ride with us, get some asphalt, get a shirt from Macadocious, the boss
About that life.
About that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look out for that Boss
Buy a
Mac
dog,
bullies, man.
Get a boss
yeah.
bully.
Look out for Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
baby. Finna take over the whole bully community, the whole bully world. Wu-Tang. Yeah.
So yeah, when
Miyagi baddest son.
we gonna take some questions now from any of y'all that ain't learned your lesson about what it is to be about this thug life. You know what I mean? So holla back. It's your boy D-Love signing out. Need to get some questions, need to get some subscribers so y'all can come take a ride with some real bosses and we'll do this shit LA style. You heard?
Like that. West up.
Yo, we live right now. We're gonna take a question from Daniel Lito. Dan, what's up? The man, the myth, the legend, the international connector, connoisseur. You the man. I'm so proud of you for having us on The Truth About Tupac, the only cat that I know that rides out every day, 24/7, 365. We're gonna hit you up with a asphalt package, a little flat box gift, some of our product placements and sponsors. So your question is, for Mac, how it was recording High Till I Die.
Recording the High Till I Die, man. How was it doing High Till I Die? Man, look, I'm gonna just tell y'all, man, we recorded that song at Echo Sound Studio, one famous studio out in Glendale, California. And I'm gonna just tell you like this, high till I die, low till they smoke me, shit don't stop till the casket drop. We was high than a motherfucker recording that song. And that's how that song came about, man. We was so blowed in the studio, and we was trying to come up, we had the beat, and we was trying to come up with a hook for it. And all of a sudden, Pop was like, man, I'm high till I die, my nigga. We was like, that's it right there, let's do that. So it came, that's how that shit came about, high till I die. You feel me? So yeah, man, that was a real, we had a real good time that night in the studio recording that song, man. You know, that was really tight.
Danny Lito, there you go. You got an official answer to how they made the song, how they felt, because they was high as giraffe pussy. Now,
please believe it.
on another note, everybody want to know how you met Pac.
Wow, man, how I met Pac, man. Actually, I met Pac, it was me and Rated R, man. We met Pac through Coolio, man. Shout out to my boy Coolio, man. That's my brother for life, man, you know. Yeah, man, you know, I was good friends with Coolio because I grew up in the same hood as Ice Cube and Dub C, you know what I mean? And
neighborhood.
You already know, you feel me? And, you know, Coolio was in the group with Dub called Mad Circle at the time. So me and Coolio was real tight. And me and Rated R, we had a group called Double Jeopardy. And we was just some young cats trying to shop our demo around and stuff like that. So we gave the demo to Coolio. And, you know, he was moving it around and stuff. And one day he called us and told us, man, I got a surprise for y'all. Come meet me at this hotel next door to the Comedy Store on Sunset. So, you know, we rolled up there, bro, and, you know, we didn't know what to expect, but we rolled up there, knocked on the door, bro. Guess who opened up the door?
Pac himself, the Don.
Wasn't Pac that opened up the door. It was Tretch from Naughty by Nature.
Wow.
You feel me? So, and it was so crazy because Tretch didn't know us from nobody, bro, but he embraced us like a long-lost brother, like, man, what's up, homie? Ooh, hugged us like, man, he been knowing us his whole life, man. So the vibe was cool, man. As soon as we walked in, seen some females sitting on the bed, you know, looked around, looked in the corner. Tupac sitting over the corner, right? I'm like, man, that's Tupac, right? So it was crazy because it was like, you know, you got to picture yourself being a young artist trying to get on, and now you in a room with Coolio, Tretch from Naughty by Nature,
and Don
Tupac.
Himself.
So the shit was like a dream, bro. You feel me? And but it was surreal. So it was like we up in there, and I'll never forget, man. They had every drink you want to name sitting on the table. Tanqueray. That's when Tanqueray was big. For y'all don't know about Tanqueray, man. We was off that Tanqueray. We had Hennessy. We had every drink you could name, bro. Alizé, all that, bro.
Passion.
You know, we was tossing it up, man, smoking big weed and everything. So, you know, I remember I kicked it off. I was like, man, y'all ain't got no instrumentals in here? And Tretch was like, what, instrumentals? So he called next door to the boy Vinny, the other guy from Naughty by Nature. So he said, yeah, man, bring the tape over here. So it was actually a CD of 1992, their album, but it was the instrumental version. Right. So they threw it on. We had a little boom box of shit. He threw it on. And I ain't lying, bro. We just got into a little cypher and we all was busting. Everybody was busting. And, you know, we all freestyling. And, you know, sometimes when you freestyle, you tend to fall off here and there, right? Man, God was moving in that room, bro, because me and Runner was spitting like we ain't never spit in our life, bro.
Runner's rated R for y'all that don't know.
Exactly. So we spitting, everything locking up, just popping, right? So when it was all over, the boy Tretch was like, man, who y'all fucking with, man? Who y'all on with? We was like, man, we just trying to get on. So, you know, again, he called Vinny over, like, man, bring some T-shirts and this and that. So he brought us some Naughty by Nature T-shirts. We exchanged numbers. He's like, man, whatever I could do, man, I'm going to try to help y'all get on and this and that, right?
That's wrong.
So on the low, Pac had slid us his number too, right? So we didn't even really look at it till we got in the elevator. When we got in the elevator, we looked at it and stuff, and it said, call me tomorrow, right? So peep this out, bro. This how real God is. We meet Tupac on a Friday. That Saturday, we was out of this house in the valley, and he was running it down to us how he wanted to start this group called Thug Life, and if we wanted to be down. And of course, we was like, hell yeah, we want to be down. So we meet him on a Friday. We out at his house on a Saturday. That Sunday, we in San Diego with him doing a show. That Monday, we in the studio recording our first song. That shit give me a chill just even telling you that, my nigga. I mean, you know, that and it was just so real, bro. It's
Not
like
even
overnight.
consequences,
You
no
feel me?
coincidence.
Nah, it was just meant to be, homie. So you know what I mean? And the rest is history, you know?
You know, on another note, I'm really happy to share that moment with you and for you to share that with us because you can feel the chills as well. As you can see, I ain't got them 20-inch guns like you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I got them
Oh,
chills.
man. Right.
That's a
Yeah,
real,
I see it though.
That's
Yeah,
a
no
real
doubt.
deal.
Yeah.
And a real situation that to this day and time, you know, what artists go through to get signed. And to know that it was divine.
It was. It had to be, bro. Just the way it went down, man.
You know, I wanted to ask you though, you know, when Pac, the way Pac moved and how he moved in others' lives, you know, it was amazing for him to be in so many places and in so many faces. But I also, talking to you, you had mentioned something. You said he never really had a home.
Yeah, well,
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you know, with Pac, you know, young, you know, he was born in New York. We all know he was born in Harlem, you know, in the Bronx, actually, excuse me.
It's all right.
But, you know, moved from there to Baltimore, to the Baltimore area. From Baltimore, he moved to the Bay. You know what I mean? And from the Bay, he moved to the West Coast, to down here, you know, in South Central. You feel me? But the thing was, like, as much as Pac was a leader, Pac was a follower too. You feel me? Because Pac never had a base. He never had no day one niggas. You know how you got your sandbox niggas you went to elementary school with and you still know them because y'all all stayed in the same town this whole time. You know what I mean? So Pac had different people he dealt with through different places. He never had no one home that he could call his home. You know what I mean? So he encompassed all these different cultures from all these different areas.
True.
That's why he was able to blend with everybody. And what I mean, and what I mean by being a follower, bro, is like you into a new hood, so you gonna follow their ways and you gonna adapt to their ways. You dig what I'm saying? Like that, you know what I mean? So
you adapt to your environment.
You adapt to your environment. But one thing I can say though about my dude, man, rest in peace, that once he landed on the West Coast, he fell in love with this shit out here, boy. And that's why he banged that West. That's why when you see Pac, he always threw the dub up. That boy was born on the East Coast. He stayed in Baltimore. I mean, and his heart was in the East Coast too. He loved the East Coast. Don't get it twisted. But he loved the West Coast.
Do you think that he favored the West Coast so much because when times got rough, I mean, those were the actual cats that always embraced him and was there for him.
Yeah, that, most definitely that, and just our culture, bro. Pac was a militant. You know, Pac was a hard nigga from heart. You know what I mean? Good dude, but with the business. His mama was with the business. You know when your mama with the business, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be with the business, you feel me? So, and from a militant standpoint, but what he liked about the West Coast is our gangsterism. You dig what I'm saying? What he got from the Bay was that hustle shit. You know, them niggas is on their hustle shit. They on their pimp shit up there. They on their fly shit up there. You feel me? So he got his hustle and his grind, I believe, a lot from the Bay when he was up in the Bay. You feel me? But when he came down here to the South, to Southern California, we with that gangster shit. You know, niggas is out here killing.
Talk
you know,
about it, be
we
about
with
it.
that real shit, my nigga. And he gravitated toward that too. You understand me? And you know,
he had been through a lot though when he came through. I mean, all the people from the East Coast at that time, a lot of the homies like he was rolling with, Stretch and all them turned on him. A lot of them is, you know, became grimesters instead of gangsters.
Right. And then like you were saying too, like, you know, we was the niggas that really had us back though, bro. You know what I mean? And I would tell Pac a lot, you know what I mean? That nigga ain't for you. This dude ain't for you. Because a lot of dudes would come around us, bro, to just be around us and try to be, you know, get up under his wing and try to
look when he was locked up. Nobody came there for him but Suge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the crazy part about it too, man. You know, this what I was telling our producer right here, bro, that out of all the people, all these actors and people that had big money that claim they love Tupac, when my boy went to jail, didn't nobody stand up and bring no money to bail that boy out, man. You know what I mean? And then, you know, it took somebody like Suge to get him out. And then, you know, he ends up on death row or what have you. And you know, the rest is history, bro. But I'm just saying, anybody could have bailed him out, bro.
Thank you.
Anybody. You know what I'm saying? So nobody came through, like you said, but Suge. So, you know, it is what it is. You feel me? But, you know, again, man, you know, it's just a shame my boy ain't here because I'm going to tell you, for him to be 25 and be as influential as he was, I mean, you know, the sky was the limit, bro. And, you know, again, you know, our producer asked me earlier about the Paul Watson. Shout out to Paul Watson.
Big
you know,
P3.
and the conspiracy theory or whatever you want to call it of was it even bigger than just the fight in Vegas and this and that. And to be honest with you, just to have it on tape and on the record, I truly believe that it was bigger than that. You know what I mean? Because just like John F. Kennedy, just like Martin Luther King, just like Malcolm, these are all influential people that had power over the masses. And at the time of Pac's death, he had power over the masses. I'm talking about black, Mexican, white, Asian. Everybody loved Pac, bro. And then Pac said, look, man, we need to get together and we need to go paint the White House black. Niggas would have really been ready to get together and go try to paint the White House black. You feel me?
I love what you say about that, because in a conspiracy, there's always more than one killer.
Yeah, please believe it. But do you get what I'm saying? So if he was like that at 25,
where would he be?
At 35 or at 45. You dig what I'm saying? So the people,
and he was going into politics.
The people could project and see, wow, this kid got this much power now. If we let him keep going, ain't no telling what he might do.
We call him not just a revolutionary, an evolutionary.
True that. I believe that, no doubt.
And that's a real important message here on The Truth About Tupac. I hope you enjoyed this segment with Macadocious, the realest cat that I know, that's steadily out here on the block, carrying the thug life torch, keeping it alive. Because everybody that's in this struggle gon' bubble. If you believe in yourself, if you continue to persevere for yourself and look at yourself and be real to yourself. If there's one thing I could say about Macadocious, my man has always had a plan, and that's what makes him the man and the friend.
I appreciate you, bro. I love you too, little bro.
I see you on the block.
Yes,
Anybody
sir.
want to holler, get your dog life right, get your about that life
You
right.
already know.
Get your game tight. Come
Get
see my
at me,
man
get
coaching
at me.
kids in the football league. You want to get your game and your shirts. What's the
get at me.
website they
I'm
can
gonna tell you
log
like
at you,
this.
man?
Well,
What's the
basically, you know,
Instagram?
you can get at me on IG at the Instagram at OG Bossmac, and then you can check me out on Facebook at Bossmac Bullies. Y'all keep that in y'all mind, Bossmac Bullies, and don't forget about that dog Wu-Tang. He the one to be looking out for. You want a nice bully? If you got a female and she's going in the heat, call me, get at me on IG, and I'm gonna hook you up with a stud fee for that boy Wu-Tang. If you want you a nice dog, you want to get you some fly t-shirts and you into this fitness, get at me about that life off that Instagram. I'll hook you up with some t-shirts. And look out for them Carson Ravens. We coming. Yeah, you know what I mean? Mighty Mites, Tiny Mites, Junior Pee-wees, we taking over. Junior Pee-wees, all that, we doing that at the Carson Ravens. Look out for that boy Dion, a.k.a. Boogie Rivers. That's my son. 17 touchdowns last year, over 1,000 yards rushing. We coming to double up on that this year, man. Y'all look out for that kid, man. He gonna be doing big things, man. I appreciate y'all. Salute. Thug life for life, baby.
This Denzel Ricks. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Tampa, Florida. Man, Pac, you're a true inspiration. Happy birthday, man. Happy 44th.
What up, world? It's your boy Wante from Maryland's own Eastern Shore. And this is my happy 44th birthday shout out to the big homie Tupac Shakur. And there'll never be another. Rest in peace, homie. We love you. Shout out to truthabouttupac.com. Peace.
What up, yo? It's your boy D-Love, and I'm making a pop right now live on The Truth About Tupac on Tupac's birthday, June 16th. Happy Father's Day, happy G-Day. We call that G-Day for Gemini. That's something Pac had when it was his birthday. Rapping Forte right now. We've got a special situation right now. We're on the rooftop of Los Angeles, California, on one of these nice high rises. As you can see, it ain't no surprise. We're gonna go to the 4th floor, rooftop level, VIP, BIG, kick it with the big OG homie. Rapping Forte from the Bay. Y'all stay tuned, log in, you goons. It ain't a cartoon, it's a platoon. Oh my God, Judge. Forte, on my way. Forte. How you doing,
I'm good, brother. How you feeling,
man? Happy G-Day.
Happy G-Day.
On the Pac B-Day, and happy Father's Day to you, man.
To you as well.
You know, we live here on The Truth About Tupac. And it's just an honor, man. You know, one of my favorite songs is Only God Can Judge Me. I'm coming fresh from church right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Blessings,
And
blessings.
knowing on this Father's Day, you know, the Romans 8 verses 15, it was talking about Father, Abba. Abba
Exactly.
means the word Father.
Right.
I don't know if you have any kids. You have any kids,
Yes,
brother?
I do have kids. Most definitely, brother.
Because I know you raised me. I'm definitely a student of you, sir, growing up.
It's a
From
pleasure
Watson,
hearing
from
that.
LA.
Pleasure hearing that.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Look, they're the Pac twin. They say everybody has a twin on this planet Earth. You know what I mean? And it's a pleasure to be up here, doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
But tell us what we. Yeah,
We
tell us, man.
right now
what's up?
shooting a video.
Yeah.
Four Flavors Entertainment, rapper Forte, on Wide Young Mouth. That's my loved one. We're
Young
from
Mouth.
the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Not Young Mouth, but
what?
Young Mouth.
Young Mouth.
Yes.
Tell us about Young Mouth.
He's an up-and-coming artist as well. You know what I'm saying? We put words together. We put literature together. Shoot out messages. Working on a package right now called A Tale of Two Cities. A Tale of Two Cities.
What's that about? Tale of Two Cities. Is that a movie? That sounds like a movie. Because you know I'm an actor, man. You giving jobs out right now. And preaching.
It's all good. No, basically what it is, it's a soundtrack. It's an album. And it's the introduction to it. I'm working on my 25th year anniversary in this rap game. Rapper Forte 25th year anniversary. Y'all look for that. If y'all need to contact me at onerappingforte.com. WordPress, Rapper Forte. But back to the subject at hand.
Yes.
I'm from San Francisco. I'm from Earth, but I was born and raised in San Francisco. Young Mouth, he's from Oakland. So it's a tale of two cities and the bridges, they collide like this here. So we rocking the tale of two cities, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, that for me right there again, you know, you say you left a few messages there because the years and the lineage and the time frame was put into having an understanding of how in the Bay, you know what I mean, when you got the Oakland and you got the San Francisco, you know, I was out there in the Fillmores at Hunters Point filming at Sucker Free City, you know what I'm saying, with Spike Lee, and shout out to my boy JT Bigger Figure and everybody.
The GLP and everybody from the scope.
Tell us how that worked, man. Tell us, really give us the truth about how long it's been, you know, to get that kind of movement and the two in a point to where now we can tell one story.
Well, it's been years. It's been years. I really couldn't put a time frame on it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And me coming from the soil and from the gutter, poverty, etc., I learned a lot from my brother Pop. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, happy birthday, Tupac. It's like, experience is the best teacher to make a short story short. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And this is a plan. This is a plan to put a message out there, plant a seed so it can blossom and grow. That's what Rapper Forte all about, you know what I mean? I speak about Mac and, you know, me and the homie Too Short, you know what I'm saying, when we grow up. I speak about poverty. But I like to always have a message in the music, and if you listen to the generations, it's changed. I call it a microwave world, to make a short story shorter.
Yes.
We have different support systems now. Got all these cameras and et cetera out here, and phones where you can do downloads and et cetera. The reason why, should I say, record shops have closed down, because it's a digital world now. And I feel good that I'm still standing right now and be able to put a message out there to the whole wide world. That's what I'm here for. I'm a messenger. It took me years to realize that as well. I'm a messenger from God. You know what I mean? But you know, the run-ins with the law, should I say, the ghetto university experience, my education, as far as School of Performing Arts, and you know, all the gifts and all the different trades that my family and my mother, father, and my huddle has taught me. I put it into my music. I never try to perpetrate in any kind of way. I always just try to sound like Rapper Forte, because that's who I am. To make a short story short, I'm from the Bay Area. I'm here right now in LA, and we plant these seeds, and we just basically trying to grow and blossom. And the good part about it, the most biggest part about it, is on Pac's birthday. I love that. And happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
You know, Tate, I wanted to go back into many, many different things you spoke on without interrupting you as the messenger, as the teacher, because the students become the teacher. And you had said something that it's been a lineage, a family, a village that can raise one, and one can raise a village.
Exactly.
And to make a short story shorter, I love those coined phrases as a poet that you are. I wanted to ask you one truth that the world may not know, as if we needed to know about Mr. Forte, about the Bay, about Pac. But there's something right now, if we was to never ever to have this conversation, that we wanted the students to carry out and to know what's that one thing? One thing that we can summarize about the Bay, one thing we can summarize about Tupac, and more importantly about Mr. Rap Folk Tank.
If it was one thing we could summarize, I think it would be live and let live. Each one teach one. That's more than one thing. Sort of God. That's how I sum it up. If it was just one thing, it would be God. You said one thing.
One thing, brother. That's the
It would
only
be God.
thing. And all praises, hallelujah to that. On another note, thank you again. We're going to go hang out, see
Yeah,
what
let's
it is
hang
on the
out.
behind the scenes on the video.
Most definitely.
Hear the song, hear about the movement, hear about the actual story behind you came up with the concept. You know, we want to know the truth here on The Truth About Tupac. We kind of like to know what people don't get to know. We ain't here to TMZ the artists.
No,
We're here
no,
to let the artists do the TMZ.
Exactly. And we're going to get off into that, so don't touch that down. We're going to go deep into the abyss about me and Pac, the truth about Pac. This is rapping folk type blunt. Bay Area, baby. For love,
West Side. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Darius Love. I'm standing right here right now, 2015 Grammy Museum, Staples Center Live, and I have the most historic person in the building next to the artifacts, QD3 himself. And we wanted to find out the truth about Tupac, something that nobody knows for you about Pac and what you've been doing to extend his legacy.
So something that nobody knows?
Yes.
I think it's that he was into folk music and stuff like that. You know, he really liked like classical musicals, all that kind of stuff. Like he was really into esoteric music. He had a very broad palette musically.
Yes, you know, it's funny you say that. Going to school, and you go back to his performing arts school in Baltimore, and a lot of people who was in his class said the same thing.
Right.
But to stand here next to you and you to know music and coming from a musical family of such greatness, that's a very profound thing to let us know here on The Truth About Tupac. Sure. Is there anything we could see coming up with you in the future that we could go to your websites, go to your Instagrams, your Twitters, or Facebook?
The last thing I did in terms of documentaries was, I'm still finishing it right now, it's about the Dungeon family. So Andre 3000 and Big Boy and Organized Noise and all those, I mean, they're probably some of the most, besides Pac, like the most talented guys in the game.
Come on, you said the Dungeon family.
Yeah.
I know what's up.
We're doing a doc about that whole movement, man.
Wow.
I came away so impressed with that. I was like, man, after we shot it, I was more into it than when we started. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's like they're incredible. So I can't wait for people to see that. And,
when we can look to see for it to come out? Or what is it going to come out?
It'll be out in the
Netflix,
next 6-7 months, probably.
Excellent.
I don't know exactly where. I don't know where.
Okay.
That's
what you're doing.
Latifah and Shakim are working on all that. So.
Ah, you got Queen involved.
Yeah.
How long
and
ago?
she was down with him from day one. Like,
really?
Yeah. I've seen footage of them going on tour together and all that stuff. So.
Oh, see, man, I was just at
Tretch. Remember him in Tretch? So that's all the same, you know.
That now it's making sense. You're bringing it out. You're giving us some exclusives. Y'all heard it here on The Truth About Tupac first, and more importantly, big shout out to Queen Latifah. We just saw her. She was doing an award for a water conservation company to provide wells in Africa. She's a big humanitarian, a big superstar, and we love what you do, Queen, behind and in front of the scenes. QD3, more importantly, continue to make history, brother. Thank you for laying the foundations and coming here and taking your time out to give back to Pac, who gave so much to us. It's your boy D Love. I'm out.